Welcome to the third round of the Tepe Sigeman tournament. Now we have reached the middle point, actually, the middle round.
Almost, something like 40% has been done, and after this round, 60% will be completed.
And today we look forward to the Swedish clash.
Yes.
The two Swedish players are playing today.
Yes, Niels and Linus.
Yeah.
And as I said to you at the start, that well, the Swedes weren't worried about collusion. They weren't forced to play in the first round against one another.
No.
So
they will fight.
Yes.
Yes, they will.
And we also have Ben versus Videt, and in our third game, we're still waiting for the arrival of Morozevich. Yes, Tari is white. So at the moment, there are two players tied for first, Niels and Tari with +1.
Yeah.
They have each drawn, and Alexander Morozevich has arrived at the board. I can see he's played the French defense.
So we have two French defenses today.
Exactly, between the Swedes, and we have two Frenches and a Grunfeld. So a good start, and a very, very fast start, by the way, between Niels and Linus. Let's take a look at, so, the French defense, well, it had a very unpleasant history for Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer did poorly against the French defense. But recently at the U.S. Championships, the French defense really was getting pounded. I mean, there was a line of people circling the block who wanted to beat the French defense very badly. And it's one of those defenses that waxes and wanes. Sometimes it's an ascendancy, and sometimes you don't see it at all. And, well, let's see why it's making a comeback, shall we?
I'm not sure. I mean, do you think it's a comeback?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's like
in the U.S. it was Akobian, I guess.
Akobian who was doing it, and Tatev on the ladies' side is a big French. And you will remember in the playoffs between Annie Wang and Nagy. Nagy was on the white side of this Bobby Fischer attack against the French with D3. Yes. And the advance, what do you think about this, Stellan?
That's a little bit surprising, because Niels normally played knight c3 or knight d2.
Right.
So
the two.
So this is something he has prepared lately.
Right. Knight c3, the winner were, and knight d2, the Tarash.
Yeah, couple.
Yeah, and it's always very, I think, the most depressing for French defense players is when they capture.
I know, I play the French, so
yeah, you know that
you get a little bit depressed.
Exactly. So one of the things that I liked when I was playing I played the French a lot. And I remember many, many games that I have done, I am black. For example, against Jan Timman. I was always very happy somehow that they closed the center. So I even played like this, right? Petrosian style. So I always felt that when somebody played the advanced, I saved the tempo. I didn't play knight f6 and move my knight or something. Well, let's see what Niels has in mind. Queen b6 is quite flexible because
you could play bishop d7.
That's right.
If you wanted to.
And I remember I have played, I'm thinking about my opponent now. I can't recall who at the moment, but I remember going into this kind of a variation. I believe I played knight g6, if memory serves. And it was a very intriguing game. If White manages to maintain his pawn on d6, it's bad.
All over.
It's all over. It's bad. Okay, but that was not what happened. Knight c6, main move, a3. Now, the question, no, he did not play.
c4 is a move.
Yes, this is Bronstein's move. And I remember being very impressed by this idea. Well, let me just make a move for white for a second. g3, knight here, knight here, bishop here, bishop g2, knight here, castles. And I remember being very impressed by an idea of Bronstein's, which went like this, and David went for knight a5 and to recapture with the piece on b3.
Yeah.
I thought that was wonderful. But c4 has not too many admirers. And bishop d7 is the main move, and everything is main. Rook c8 also a main move. And I even think knight h6 here is...
Now or even before?
Yes. Is known. Rook c8, okay. You have ideas already of knight takes d4 and rook takes c1.
Yes.
So bishop b2, or what did he play after rook c1? Bishop e3. And I think I have played a game against Boris Kreiman that went something like this. I remember, and I have settled, I think with a knight h6 as well.
Yeah.
That I have settled for
probably
knight c4.
already, yeah.
Yes. Okay. That did not happen. He has played bishop e3, that is to say Niels, knight h6, bishop d3. And are we up to date? Yes or no?
Let's see.
I suspect that we are still...
Yeah,
the theory
we are.
is
Yes.
it goes for a long, long time, even from this position.
Yeah, knight f5 or knight g4.
And no moves in this
No,
game yet.
so this is the position right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And we will let them figure it out. But yes, this is a well-known theory.
Yeah, and normally it will be interesting game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's
It's
not many exchanges
and it's a battle for squares. So,
yeah.
so White's idea is very clear. He wants to play knight d2, knight b3, and knight c5. So he totally plugs up the queen side. In the meantime, already the pawn on e5 has done its job. Black's knight, you know, has had to go to the side, and then Black will spend another tempo bringing the knight into the game. Normally speaking, Black needs to ensure that he just doesn't get spaced and crushed because he has no squares. And oftentimes he needs to make sure that the a7, a5 break, that after b5, White isn't allowed to close completely the queen side. But okay, this is going to be a wonderful battle. Let's take a look at our other French, a completely different French. The winner were Steinitz. And now queen b6.
6 immediately, yeah.
It was actually Morozevich, I believe, who introduced this concept of knight c6, bishop e3, b6, which was played between Fabiano and Okobian in the U.S. Championship. And that was actually a very sharp and interesting game. So, but Morozevich did not play according to his opening. He played queen b6, bishop e3. Now, there was a lot of games where this pawn has been accepted.
Yeah.
Queen takes b2. I think it was Simon Akdeshine who was
in the Norway chess.
in Norway chess that was championing this.
A lot of times. Yes.
Yes. Yes, it's actually Black to move. Oh, he could play instead of bishop e3. Yes, knight a4 is a line, queen check, also attacking the knight. c2, c3, knight c6. I believe that, or is it knight c6?
Sometimes b6 also.
B6
is also possible to play.
Right.
Because the knight is
a little bit unhappy here, yeah?
So is the black queen, maybe.
Elsa.
So it's very
yes.
strange.
So if you play a move like a3, c4, in order to stop b4, you get a completely different game line of play. So b4, let's say, takes en passant, queen takes, and I don't know, bishop a6, and the game goes on.
Yeah.
This knight on a4 looks a little strange, as does the queen. But knight a4 is a main move. Bishop e3, a6.
Now maybe it's a threat to take.
Now it's very serious.
Yeah, because there is no knight b5 anymore. Yeah.
Knight a4, your move, you see. check, c3, takes, b4, queen c7. So I remember studying this variation as a child or a kid, and I always liked white's position. I thought it was much easier to play white thanks to this idea of a3, rook c1, and c4 coming. And normally speaking, black is playing g5 or f6 to break on the king side.
But there is no break.
Yeah, there's no real break. No. But you're going to have to play it with g5. Otherwise, you're just going to get smooched in the center. What? Did we really have queen takes d4?
Queen takes d4.
Okay, this is a real opening circus. What is that? Do you know anything about this?
Not take with the queen.
Sure,
I can only see that it has been played. I can see.
Yes, but is it a theory? Queen takes d4?
No, I think it's very rare, probably.
Well, today's opening circus, the players are playing all kinds of moves. We've already seen some pretty amazing moves.
The surprise factor, it's very important.
Yes. Okay, but this looks wrong to my eyes.
I guess knight c6 is impossible not to play.
Impossible not to play.
Yeah.
So you're gaining a tempo against the queen. The queen literally will draw itself back. And now we have to ask ourselves a vital question. b5, give me the knight. I'm sure you don't want to put the knight here because in the end this pawn on c5 is going to be very hard to defend. Yeah? So I'm sure the knight is going to go backwards, and then the question I would ask is, black, okay, let me take advantage of the fact that your b pawn is sticking out.
And the rook is not defended on a1.
Right, so no chances for a3. No. I take advantage, as you say. The rook is not defended, so you really have no choice.
Take on
b5. Now we stop for just a moment because there are two moves. There's knight takes, I don't know why, and there's a takes, yeah? Now, this is losing, this is bad. I just don't want to give up that great bishop for a pawn, so you're almost obliged to play c4. And this is weird. Weird. Yeah. May I offer a move? b3. Okay. If it's my turn, I want to make a queen. I want to play
rook. Yeah.
Rook takes and make a queen. And also, by the way, if it's my move, I want to take a queen. I want to make a queen and I want to win a queen. Yeah.
Castle looks
obliged.
Yeah.
Okay. And may I take along a tempo just to see what is what? The queen is going somewhere.
Yeah.
d3, f2, f2,
yeah,
f2. Why not? Let's give it a look. And how do we even start to judge this position? I mean, it's confusing, right?
Yeah.
Utterly, it's a mess.
Looks okay for black.
But it's a mess that black may not be unhappy about.
No.
But this is a very, very interesting move. You have to tell me if queen takes d4 is theory, because
I only see one game in this opening book. Let's check.
Let's double check.
I check.
What's going on there? How about to our audience? Has anybody in our audience seen this move, queen d4, before?
Probably not.
Don't all raise your hands at once. I guess the answer is no. All right.
Okay, it's been played.
And who is our culprit?
Okay, how do I see? Let's say b5. I have no names. I only have the ratings.
Okay.
Go.
And how did the
b5 is
b5 at not knight c6, but b5 at once?
No, knight c6.
Knight c6.
Yeah, that's already been played in the game.
Okay, queen.
And then b5 is the.
the stem game.
Yeah.
And how did that game go? Knight b2?
It's actually a lot of games. Now,
Really?
yeah, there is 40 games with f6.
F6, okay, a normal break. I was just looking at the move a5
Yeah.
previously. And then you have to take on f6, I presume.
No,
They do something else.
Yeah, a lot of players play a4.
Okay. I suppose rook b8 or something else. Or do they want to take on a4?
Rook b8, or that's actually played.
The most.
Some play rook b8, some take.
Okay.
But it's not. What should I say? This is games from 2014, 2015. So it's not like
super fresh.
No.
It's not fresh produce.
No.
Okay, just to continue. Let's say rook b8. Let's say ab. Let's say ab. Now you take on f6. Yes.
They
no?
play knight d4.
Knight d4.
Going for b5 and e6.
Okay. b5 and e6. Yes.
And I take the knight.
And they take with the pawn because now they can maintain.
Yeah, but I'm
pawn.
sorry to say they take with the bishop.
Of course. Even this. Okay, I can't guess any. Okay.
But now we are 10 years old games, so.
And the statistics favor white or black?
Yeah, white.
Wow. Okay.
So
what
we
can
will
I
see.
say? We'll see what the what
There will happen something else before this, for sure.
You're sure? Okay. Let's just see. So we do currently have this position.
Knight c6, queen d2 is played.
Right.
Yeah.
Which also raises a question. Imagine black just starts with the move f6 and says, I don't need to push away the knight on a4 right away. Is knight d4 still the move, or I don't know?
No, now maybe you have to take.
Now you have to take, okay.
Maybe
So
I'm
the
not sure.
difference is, in this case, the knight hasn't been pushed to a rather
No.
ridiculous square.
No.
It could potentially post up on b6. I don't think that you necessarily want to hunt down this bishop, though.
Just want to block.
Just to, yeah, just to be there. Just to be there. But okay, black is one move, bishop to d6, followed by two moves, castles, and black is ready with his own ideas. And this pawn could be potentially weak.
He played b5, I can see.
He did play b5.
Yeah.
Okay. The temptation to kick the knight
To
into
b2, yes.
it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great. And I understand that, of course. Well, okay, we're
Also interesting position.
No question.
Yeah.
We're in nice territory here. I like these French defense battles. And again, if I'm in black shoes, I'm thinking of 3 candidate moves. The first move that has my attention is a5. f6 would be the second, and well,
Yeah. Bishop
development.
yes.
It can't be bad.
No.
You want to tuck your king away and
And then go for f6. Yes.
yes, yes. All right. And the Grunfeld game. Oh, I went the wrong one. This is the Grunfeld game.
Is it surprising that Vidit plays Grunfeld against Gledura, who played Grunfeld himself yesterday?
I don't know.
Maybe it's his main opening.
You're right.
But still. So Gledura is on the Grunfeld on both white and black.
Yes.
The repertoire of the players, how is their history with the Grunfeld?
They have not played before.
This is
Because
their
they're
first
very
match.
young.
Okay.
Benjamin and Vidit, this is their first game
Yeah, I think so.
together.
Yeah.
Even though they're so youthful and they have so
Yeah.
many youth championships now. Well, let's see how the players got to here, because they got here very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so through an English move order, they arrive at a Grunfeld position. D5 takes, D4, so this is all very proper. And then...
Now we are in main line again.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, in the old days, knight f3 was considered a bad idea to allow these pins. Everybody played bishop to c4 and knight to e2.
Yeah.
And there was a revolution, I want to say, of opening chess theory in the 1990s. And this was a system that Anatoly Karpov was very fond of with white, as he would essentially crush his opponents in these endings. He was very happy when the queens came off, and he had the central pawn duo in the middle of the board. And let's see, after queen d2, castles, okay, rook c1. This is already a very important theoretical moment, and what Talia liked to do is play rook b1. And the idea of rook b1 was to be a little bit more forcing. With the move rook b1, you introduce the threat of rook b5. And if you take, this is the ending he wants, and the rook is actually quite useful here. It ties down the bishop. And I remember being incredibly impressed by the players who had real understanding about the Grunfeld. After the move a6, then they played rook c1.
Yes.
You know, it was only after first inducing this move a6, and it would have repercussions for 10 moves down the line. Yes?
If he doesn't have a queen, isn't it bad to cast it down or not?
I missed the
Oh,
question.
sorry.
Sorry?
Oh, if
If he doesn't have a queen, is it bad to cast it or not?
if he without queens,
Yeah.
then white can stay in the middle with his king.
Yes,
That's
it
what-
often
yeah.
happens, yes. So, like, for example, in these positions, it very often happens that, let's say, a move like this, white often plays bishop to d3 and king to e2. And, like you say, maintains the king in the center. Yeah.
Even facing a bishop pair?
Even facing a bishop pair. Like, the pawns on d4 and e4 act a kind of a shield, a barrier for white's king in the center. And I've seen even the black players playing moves like f7, f5 to try to provoke a crisis. There is a threat of f5, f4. Oops, the bishop is trapped. And, you know, like they do things like takes, bishop takes, rook takes, knight c6, and Grunfeld players are always saying, look at my beautiful piece activity, I don't mind being a pawn down. But that was not the choice. Rook c1 was Benjamin's choice. Knight d7. That is a little confounding. Knight d7. The moves I'm most familiar with are e7, e6. So one of the things, let me go back for just a moment. One of the things that white would like to do is play d5 and c4 and maintain this beautiful center of pawns, except for both bishop c3 and, oops, bishop takes a1. So white begins with the move rook c1 as a prelude to playing d4, d5 and c4, c5. So black has played e7, e6 in the past, and rook d8.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the moves that I know best, let's put it like that. And knight d7, well, that strikes me as a strange move. In the games of the 1990 World Championship, Anatoly Karpov had a very intriguing idea that he played in that match, and that was to play the move bishop h6. Okay? So the idea was that if you take, queen takes, white's idea is to play knight g5 and checkmate you.
Yeah.
Very, very bluntly. And if you take on d4, then Anatoly, and you can look up those games and you can see that they had a number of games where the king was in the center like this. The bishop came to d3, the king came to e3, and so on. So this move, knight d7, is a little bit, okay, maybe this is the latest and greatest in opening theory. Bishop d3. Okay, that is a very strange place to put the bishop. Bishop d3. Is it that d5, with the idea c4, he's afraid of this, and so he wants to put his bishop, he wants to defend the pawn right away? Bishop d3, okay, was played. e5, de. This looks like a game from, now that I think about it, a game from the US Championships between Hikaru Nakamura and Wesley So, where Wesley essayed a very quick f5. Okay, so theory marches on. Takes, bishop takes, bishop c4. Stalin?
I will check
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes. They're confusing us because I think many in our audience would ask,
So
why
let's
didn't he
see.
play bishop c4 if he
Knight
wanted to?
d7, bishop
Yeah.
d3, the usual
Is the
move.
most usual?
Yeah, e5,
Okay.
d5 is normal then.
Okay. And d takes e5, is that normal as well?
Yeah, it's played, but now we are down to 6 games.
And is bishop c4 common after the
No.
trade on e5?
Take bishop c4, yes.
That is common.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're common. 3 games.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Then, if you play bishop c4, then e pawn is given.
yeah, but
Yes,
it's not
but
under.
No attack against the point the young man is saying is that the bishop on d3 does protect the pawn on e4, but the bishop at d3 itself is passive. It's only a defender at this moment. When white plays this move, bishop c4, he's thinking, I'll put the bishop on d5, defending the pawn, and then my bishop will be more active on the d5 square. And that is probably why Vidit said, let's get rid of that bishop. The bishop on e6 was played. We have a trade in castles. And queen c7. The players are playing very briskly. So I'm suspect that they're in their
yeah.
preparations, right?
And now
Benjamin
mean
has
is-
stopped.
now we are stopped, but he
And
has a
now
lot
we
of.
have to catch up on our opening theory and determine for ourselves what the theoreticians say. Statistically, how is white doing in this position?
Normally they play rook d8 instead of bishop e6.
Okay. So back here,
So,
Rook
but if
David
I
rook
bishop
David 8,
yeah,
not bishop e6.
No.
That's normal.
so that's maybe it was, and then this
Bishop
move.
d5
Yes.
and bishop e6 and
Now it's
c4.
time for c4.
Because white has cleared the diagonal, he doesn't have to worry about losing a rook. And this is normal position,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay.
But maybe a little bit better for white.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like the space.
Yeah.
No question about it. So bishop e6, takes, castles, queen c7. So it's hard to say that white has the better structure. It feels like he does.
Yeah.
But in truth, these pawns are split so that he has 3 pawn islands. Black has 3 pawn islands. Shall we see what happens after, I don't know, the
Okay.
obvious?
Yeah.
f4, rook d8, queen f2. Maybe rook d3 is possible. Because at this moment I'm not threatening to take the bishop, right? Okay. But rook d3? No, that's simply annoying. I don't like f4. But I don't want to lose my pawn on g2 either. So let's say g3. Okay. Rook d8, normal. Queen e2. So I'm eyeballing this one, queen c4, and also to tickle the pawn on c5. What do we like for black? c4?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm feeling a little bit mystified by the position. And the bishop goes back to d6, I suppose. Bishop to d6, e5, I suppose. Bishop to c5. We challenge the open d file. But somehow it's trading, and we're in a major piece endgame, and I don't think black is suffering. So after castles, queen c7, Benjamin is going to have to find a way to get an advantage, if there is one. It looks like black has done a good job solving his opening difficulties. What do you think, Stellan? Is there something here for white?
Yeah, you would hope for f4.
Right. To boot this bishop back and try to get it out.
But I don't see what to do after rook d8.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm not a big fan of this move, I must confess. But can I play h4 with the idea...
Softening.
Yes, to soften you up. Okay, same ideas, and maybe the same ideas as before. And now, should I play
queen g4 maybe?
Or h5 immediately? I'm not sure. Queen g4 is a touch. Help me here. What is black supposed to do?
He has to defend the pawn at least.
Yes. Well, here I can imagine that white has something.
Yes.
So let me be...
bishop f4.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to achieve some kind of a plus, but I don't feel like I'm doing it, really. But I don't know what to recommend for Ben after queen c7. F4 immediately doesn't feel right. G3 has drawbacks. H4. We'll let him suffer.
Yeah.
Why should we suffer?
So it's about
even.
equal, but you have to
But I was
find an idea. That's
correct.
more,
A plan, at least. Let's go back to the all-Swedish matchup.
Yeah.
We have left it after bishop d3, knight g4. Okay, just...
going for the bishop.
Exactly. We have castles, bishop e7, queen e1. Okay, it's very clear for me that Niels wants to play knight c3, knight a4, and knight c5. He cannot or did not want to play knight c3 because he was afraid that there will be a discovered attack. Yeah? Yes?
Isn't H3 a standard move for white?
Then he takes the bishop.
Which is a good move?
H3. But then the knight is going to take the...
Then you have open rock.
Yes.
Yeah, but maybe you don't have to force him to take with h3 because he has to do it sooner or later.
The question from our live audience is that, okay, should white play h3 and force the capture so that, okay, you clarify it.
You get the file.
Then you've opened up the rook. But at the same time, if we go back exactly to this moment, the problem is that black really has no choice. That down the road, this knight is not going to go backwards. This knight is not going back to f6 or it's not going back to h6. This knight is well and truly intended to capture. So white says, since you're going to do that, I'm not going to force you. I'm going to try to improve the position of my pieces. Queen e1 is Niels' idea to protect the square c3 so that his knight can jump and jump and jump. Okay, do we have another move after queen e1?
Let's see.
So, like, for example, if black were to capture, then the queen, in this case, might come to g3, and white has saved c2, c3, h2, h3 as a tempo.
He played f6.
f6.
Yep.
Wow. Nobody likes castling anymore. I like castles. I like castles. f6.
Yeah. Immediately
Immediately, yeah.
coming
Okay.
for, and now white is
To
thinking. Yeah.
Okay, let's try to understand this move. I don't want to recapture with the knight. I invested so much energy going knight h6, knight g4. I don't know why to bring it back. So we have to imagine that
Take with the bishop. Yes.
Linus intends to recapture with the bishop, and he's saying to his esteemed opponent, do something about the e4 pawn. And I suppose Niels is going to say, I don't have to. I will play knight c3. You cannot take this pawn because there are issues here.
Yeah.
And just a second, oopsie daisy. I had to do it in red. First of all, to show my extraordinary ability of taking advantage of my color palette.
Yeah.
And it's a check. And the whole point is you cannot capture because, oops, that's the discovered check. And white is just essentially winning. So after knight c3, castle?
Castle, yes.
Let's go castles. Yeah. And what is this? Give me, the queen has to drop back. Where do I go back to, by the way? If I go back to c7, I'm a little bit worried that, oops,
So maybe I should go all the way.
All the way. Okay. Now Niels is feeling good. The knight is reaching into the position. I don't know about this move f6. It just strikes me as a little bit premature, because if there was a genuine threat of taking on d4, then I understand black's threat, but play. But if there's no threat, then knight a4, you're going to have to play something maybe silly, like knight e7. Okay, weird stuff is going on here. b5, ideas again of knight a4. Queen a5, other ideas?
No.
I don't know. Well, the problem is you've waited so long to capture my bishop. I'm not going to let you anymore. And h2, h3, the young man's move. Kick your pieces backwards, and there's discoveries, and d4 is not hanging. Yes?
You managed to get the white knight onto c5 there a moment ago.
Yes, that was very clever of me, I agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't black just chase it with b6, since he won't quite want to swap the knight for the bishop on d7?
Good question indeed. What was the variation? The gentleman was explaining that I was very cleverly got my knight to c5.
a4.
How did I do it?
Knight a4.
No, we went knight c3. Oh, it must have been castle.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent move.
Knight
Castles, knight a4, give me the queen. The queen went back. Knight jumped to c5. And the gentleman in the audience said, well, b7, b6, the knight is very good on c5. Let me force its swap. The problem is you're right. This is one of those French defense positions where essentially both sides can pat themselves on the back and be happy, because from black's point of view, he gets rid of this passive bishop, and life is so sweet playing a French defense without the light square bishops. The problem is that after you've played b7, b6, you've also managed to weaken the light squares around the king side. Here I start to worry as black that bishop b5, I'm getting into a pin. Also, I start to worry about a sudden switch to the other side of the board. Do you want to weaken any light squares over there? Because now I have this genius idea of going queen g6 and bishop back to d3, and I'm suddenly on the diagonal that way. I don't say it's bad for black. I just say that somehow, even after achieving this highly desirable, beautiful idea, forcing the exchange of knight for light squared bishop, doesn't mean all the problems are solved. Still a little plus for Niels. What has happened instead, Stellan?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, I can see nothing.
You can see nothing. Okay,
No.
we are looking at takes on f6, bishop takes f6, knight c3, and black needs an accurate series of moves not to be worse. And right now I haven't found one, or I haven't found them. What is the story here about knight takes e3, by the way? F takes e3, knight takes. Is this crazy, good, bad? Crazy, good, bad. I don't lose a pawn, right? Knight takes.
But you
pawn
take on
takes.
F.
Oh, you take on f3
through
with a check. I do lose a pawn, or maybe two. So I have to go for this line. Right?
Mhm.
Oh, no, I do it the other way. Knight takes, bishop takes.
And now.
Now the special move, knight takes d5. Okay, I don't know. But now white achieves something glorious. The discovered check.
This is.
Not good for,
No.
not at all. The queen
No.
is wonderful. No. So you cannot do this. You cannot take on e3 and take on d4. Well, then it leaves castles, which is the knight c5 variation, and it leaves knight e7, which is the b5 variation. Also, by the way, knight e7, you also have to think about such moves, because there's a little bit, it's a little bit weird, right? H3 is, okay.
Is it totally impossible to take with a pawn on f6?
No, that is an
Sometimes,
alternative, but
maybe not.
very dangerous one, I must say.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. My spidey sense is tingling.
Yes, I understand.
I don't think you want to take on e3, but let's see. So I'll play knight c3. I'll fall into your idea. I assume you're channeling Linus, because he plays for your Swedish chess club.
Yeah.
And brothers in arms, so to speak. Okay. So knight c3.
And you are coming with your knight the normal way to c5. Yeah.
Right. The normal knight a4, c5 is on the agenda. And I haven't given up the fact that the king side is a little bit breezy. In other words, let's say you castle king side. I was about to say, okay, no, I do it in a different way. I also have such ideas that if you castle, I'm starting to think, can I launch an attack? I like putting the knight on c5. I'm a big proponent of knights belong in the center. They need to be on advanced squares, great outposts. And here I don't see exactly why the pawns in the center are really any good. Oh, sorry, I think last time I went to d8 to avoid rook c1. Unless something horrifying like e5 is good for black, this is really
that
not,
should be
not
now.
Yeah. This is not going to be much joy, I'm afraid, here for black. I just feel that something is going to go wrong. So, all right. Well,
we will see. What
Niels is definitely taking a lot of time, though, on the decision to capture on f6. Is that right, Stellan?
he has done it after a long think. He took an f6.
well done.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and did we get an immediate answer?
No.
Take with the knight. Yes, but then it's like the knight's on g8. It wants to go to f6 in one turn, and it's actually it's gone to f6 after 3 turns. You know? So it's moved all around the board, and I have a feeling that already in these positions, b5 starts to become very, very frightening for the second player. If the knight ever lands on e5 and it's dominant, no, then you just suffer a grisly fate, I'm afraid. Like, let's say I do something like this, yes? Let's say I go knight c3. So I want to, again, do my natural, and I also want knight e5.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of Frenches, and I've suffered a lot.
Yes.
And yes, sir.
When you get your knight to c5,
yes.
then black needs to trade the knight for the bishop.
Yes, exactly. That is true.
And then you have made many moves.
With my knight, yes. So indeed, the knight can be eliminated by the bishop with bishop takes, and then let's say the bishop is eliminated. At the end of the day, this bishop is not that great exactly at this moment. It's not. I agree. But should this bishop ever somehow by magic, you know, end up on e5 or d6, you will be strategically crushed. So this is not the way I would play it as a French.
No.
I think he will take with the bishop. We will see knight c3, and then we will see how Linus wants to play. Whether
the bishop
has happened.
That's happened, and now knight c3 came also. And now we will see.
What is what?
It looks like castle.
Yes, it does. It does. And then we enter the line where the knight on b1 is suddenly the most beautiful knight on the piece on the board. Okay, so advantage white. I'm sure Niels will be happy with the outcome. Isn't this interesting? In the game between Benjamin and Vidit, they went right into our variation with c4. And remember, we wanted to play bishop d3, bishop d6, pardon me, and we were saying that thanks to the idea of rook d3, we were in this major piece position, and black will be satisfied.
Yes.
This is the problem, with the modern theory, that it is so well developed. You go from the opening to the end game. It's like all the moves,
especially in the Grünfeld.
And especially in the Grünfeld.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful expression of Michael Tal. Before the end game, the gods have played the middle game, and I thank those gods. Well, we just saw a middle game go by
in 5 minutes.
In a flash. What happened? So here, white is going to try to prove that he has some pull in an ending, and I think it is going to be very hard for him to do that. And our other French defense, this is much more intriguing. I like it. Look, a5. That would have been Morozevich. You can channel Linus. Morozevich, if I can steal him as saying he's in my generation, or at least we played a lot of chess together. Okay, I would say that a6, a5 is the most challenging. For
action immediately.
Excuse me, yes, absolutely. Immediate action. I don't see a better move than bishop b5.
No.
Does the dictates of theory,
what
do they say after a5?
I think we are on our own, actually.
No kidding. We're on our own?
We will see.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Hello, Pia. Welcome.
We will see.
Yes, so while we are doing that, this is what, just to remind our viewers, this is what we have considered as the most appropriate. I went a little nuts. I was trying to grab a pawn, shock, I know, with b3. My intention is to both trying to make a queen as well as catch a queen with bishop b4. By no means is b4 forced or best. There's something a little bit strange for me about this bishop on b5. In other words, you know, I see a target, I shoot the target.
Yeah.
So after knight a7, for example, I'm not 100% sure white
Take.
really wants to win this pawn, because at the end of the day, it's all about king position, right? Wonderful, you win a pawn, and I love pawns. But you know, there's plenty of play for black for a pawn. You know, one of the great things about playing the French defense, and it doesn't happen that often, so I just really want to emphasize that this is rare. Sometimes this horrible, horrible bishop on c8, you can imagine in this position black is castled, he puts his knight on c5, he plays bishop b7, and this bishop is glorious. I mean, it's as radiant as, you know, 10 suns, you know. And sometimes when you win with the French defense with such a bishop,
then it's nice.
Yes, then you're feeling.
Often happens when the white center crashes.
Exactly.
Because he's very ambitious, and then suddenly
overly ambitious.
A5 is a new move, what I can see.
Really, and it's the most logical move in the position for me. I would, for sure, it'd be the first move I'd look at, and if I didn't like it, I would be moving to f6 and bishop b7 as second and third. But a5. So again, I thought that we were looking at this position with c4, and this move, again, my weakness. Give me your pawns, baby. Just give me your pawns. Was to look at b3 first. But then the other thing is that I'm looking at this bishop and I'm saying, no, I don't like that. And now this is a pawn I would really take great pride in winning, you know, like, because then I can say, was it yesterday where it was Linus and Tari, and Tari had this
these pawns.
Protected pass pawn on c3, and
now we can see it from the other side.
It looks really good. So knight a7.
But if I don't play c4, if I play, let's say, I take.
You do. I take.
Can I? Do I have to play c4,
No.
or you just want to, let's say, a castle?
Yeah. Ooh, this may cost you a piece. I take rook a3. I was thinking if you move your queen back, I wanted to take your bishop and play bishop c5. It's not a piece, though. No. You can definitely bail.
And now I have to do something quick with white. We have this a pawn. You were very fond of this a pawn yesterday.
Yeah,
yes, but not today.
Not today. Not today. I mean, I was very fond of the a pawn when the knight, white's knight, was somewhere beautiful on b5, supporting the pawn to
so
a7.
b2 doesn't count.
That's not a beauty. That is not a beauty piece.
But let's try. It's white to move.
White to move, yes.
Let's say I play rook fc1.
An excellent move, to be sure. Rook fc1.
Just
now, bishop. This knight on b2 makes such a. It's painful, you know, when the pieces are crying and nobody's happy. You know, the knight is in a pin.
I want to do something with my bishop on c6, but
So you can win brilliantly by rook takes c8 and rook h8. Yes?
yeah, but it's not work.
Like you want to play, for example.
But you
So,
just
but there's too many pieces hanging, no?
yeah, you can just castle, I guess.
Yes. Oops. Now
No.
too many pieces are
Yeah.
hanging. Oops. That's not nice, no? And if you have to play rook c2,
C2,
or
yes,
rook b1,
No.
then your a
Then it's
pawn
too
is not
strong.
your
No.
well, your
So-
a pawn is not a pride
so
and
what?
joy.
Yeah. So maybe it's just bad. I have to do something quick at least.
Yeah. You
I
know,
have one question before
Yes.
the B3 one.
yes. It was something here.
B3, yeah.
Yes, B. Oh, sorry. It was takes, and we were playing c4. C4 b3. Yes,
Yeah,
this
and
way.
then the 8 on just go 2-step.
Yes, that was my dream. Was not only to try to make a queen, but also to pin your queen to your king. Yes. Oh, I live for such moments. Really. these are my best moments as a grandmaster when I make
When you win a queen.
when I win a queen.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
my best. My worst moments. We don't want to go there.
But it's when you lose a queen, probably.
Well, sometimes I can live with that.
Yeah.
Losing the king was the bad news. But I don't see an option for white, really.
No, they took on b5. I
He
think.
did,
Yeah, and,
and we do
this
have
was
this.
played, and now we have.
A pause. So, again, castling,
Very dangerous.
you do have to be aware of the consequences here, yes?
So I have to take on c6 if I don't want to.
Lose some material. Yes, just to explain that one more time, if we just protect the bishop, well, we really walk into the same kind of diagonal pin as our king from before. Okay, so that was why we played queen takes c6, but this is a big strategic success that, well, these pawns somehow remained all intact.
Yeah, and the black squared bishop will
Will rule.
Yes.
Will rule. By the way, your rook on fc1 stopped me from playing the move bishop c5,
Yes,
which I
that
thought was a glorious tempo, right? By the way, yes, it did, because I simply take it. The threat of rook on e3 to e1, double checkmate. Should be respected by
Yeah,
rook takes e5.
But bishop a3 was, of course.
Rook a3. Oh, bishop
just
a3 was.
uh,
The other thing is, I'm going to take on b4. We have something. I mean, I don't. When you're white, it's your responsibility to start to analyze such tactics, right? I don't think it works for black. Probably because we can take and take. Oop, I'm sorry. And just pin, yeah. But it's already, you have to start concerning yourself that I have these, the knight jumping.
Yes.
The knight jumps, knight moves. And we're here. I think that Tari in the next move or two,
It's
things
very,
will clarify
it's
very
very
much.
important to.
Right. That was, by the way, why I was playing c3, c4 as kind of an automatic. I really didn't see another move. And I like the move b3, but I'm more fond of getting this bishop, taking this bishop. Like if you castle, very decent move, gift me the bishop here. And I think that this pawn on b5 is more a liability than an asset. But what really, really should aggravate white a great deal is the misplaced knight on b2. This needs to get into the action very quickly. I don't know, this knight will come here, this knight on a good day goes here, but be careful if this pawn is lost.
Do you prefer black's position and current position, or is it?
I think, yes, Pia, you make a good question. Do I prefer black or not? My spidey sense says yes, I like black. Put this knight on b2 on a better square, d4, and I can easily imagine that it's white for choice. But it has to do with a very specific nature of the next move or two. Like, for example, in this position, should you play a move like b4 takes a5? I hate white structure. I'm very happy with black. So, oh, sorry, I did it in the wrong way. If somehow these two pawns are just gone, they just disappear. Can I take them off the board? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
If they just disappear. I just love the structure. French defense players are just playing for the structure. I love it, and that the pawn is isolated, and especially if I can blockade with rook on a3. Yeah. So I'm saying that very specifically, right now. You know, I don't care whether it's an f5 or c4 or, you know, some kind of break where white has some very concrete attacking ideas. If he doesn't have them, then I'm very happy with black. Yeah.
Is it also because when you are black, you are very happy to have an, let's say, unclear position? So you even think, when you get this unclear position, you're thinking of it like an advantage, almost.
Well, this was my problem as a player, was that whenever I was playing black, I was fighting for equality. The moment I achieved equality, I was sure I was better.
Yeah.
Why? Well, because I'm on the way up and white is on the way down, right? Because he started with an advantage, he lost it, and I won the equality.
So you get very optimistic when
I decline draws, I give the sacrifice. I'm so happy. But yes, that is right. Yeah, I think that once I got an equality, it's sort of like now I'm in this optimistic mood of like, ooh, you know, it's going well.
That's also why a lot of players offer a draw with white when
they've lost
when they lost advantage.
Exactly,
because they feel it's going down.
Yeah, it slipped away. Yeah. Any questions from the audience about the players or the event itself? Again, as a reminder, we have two players in the lead, Niels and Tari, the current world junior champion. I've always admired world junior champions because I was one of them. So my colleague Tari is doing well. And Benjamin, who is not doing well, he's -1. He had the worst draw in the tournament. The drawing of lots is going to give him 3 blacks out of 4 games.
Yeah, starting with the black in the 2 first.
Yeah.
Against higher rated opponents.
Right, as Ellen was mentioning, he's played in the first 3 rounds, the 3 highest rated players. And somehow, because this tournament is a single round robin, it's such a short tournament, this really somehow is a very, very unfavorable number.
Yes.
Brutal, huh?
Yeah.
Oof.
But he got this draw against Morozevich yesterday, so
maybe a little bit fortunate. By the way, we do have a move by Tari, Rook C1. Wow. Okay, I must say, that one takes us by surprise. We didn't have it on our radar. Rook C1. What do we think about that move? Can he get away with it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, A2 is hanging, but the C5 looks dangerous.
I mean, yes, well, for sure the motivation is very clear. To take advantage of the pin. Let's just see some tactics. Let's see. So we took
Okay.
us, took
Okay.
us, took us, take, take. Okay. Now, the body count is we're down a piece, right? But there is a knight hanging on b2. There's a rook, pardon me, a bishop hanging on c8. So we tickle the rook. And now you can take a bishop, or you can take a knight, but you can't defend the knight on b2. What's going on, Stalin? I'm as confused as anybody.
Yeah, what do I do with my knight after I have sacrificed my rook?
Right. Well, let's imagine we took a bishop.
Take.
Okay. So now it's two minor pieces for a rook and a pawn.
It's white to move.
White to move now.
Couldn't you play bishop
Six.
e6 instead?
Knight take.
The bishop is bishop b6. Thank goodness the knight is there to protect the square. But otherwise, yeah, this is one of the things whenever you have a position is you always want to look at the forcing moves first. Every kinds of captures, you automatically analyze them. If the forcing variations are in your favor, you happily do them. If rook takes a2 is not in black's favor, then you look elsewhere. My suspicion is black should look to do something better. Of course, if I'm black in this position, I pay respects to my opponent and I say, I understand you want to exploit the C file. Let me get off of the C file. Right. Let me return the favor and attack your bishop. Now, do we want to take the knight? Do we want to protect the bishop? A4, of course, is completely unplayable. That's an en passant. That really, that's ridiculous. Shall we try to take the knight?
Yeah, we take.
Okay. We take, and now this guy is hanging and this guy's still hanging. Gotta take, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta take. Let me drop back. Oh boy. Big decision here. Sorry, I'm just pausing because I have too many temptations.
Yes.
Yeah.
b5.
That's
Also
the temptation. Yes, that's the big temptation. Why not b5p? I can tell you, I'm a pawn grabber. You know, like when I played this move, I was thinking that I was going to take this pawn with my rook, and I wanted to protect the bishop. But queen b5 is also very attractive. I was a little bit afraid that after a3, I couldn't, I wanted to say that I couldn't take the pawn because the bishop was hanging. I'm not sure. I try queen b7.
Yeah.
This guy is hanging, this guy is hanging. This looks forced.
Defend.
Now, yes, now we defend. So, I'm a pawn down for the two bishops, but I will have great play on the light squares. Shall we see? How good is my play on the light squares? I'm not sure yet. So rook a3. I'm
blocking the pawn.
But my bishop on c8 still needs support. Sorry.
So
Bishop e7.
Yeah, and then
Bishop e7, castle. So, at a certain moment, I'm dreaming of rook a3 and queen a6, or rook a3 and queen b5. I didn't win a pawn. That's not fair. Let me see if I can do better. Takes. Shall we look at queen b5 instead? Okay. Give me this pawn.
a3. Defend.
Let's finally get a good bishop. Shall we
Knight
jump,
d4,
knight
yes.
d4. Let's go away. And for the moment, these are two
Good pawns.
very good pawns.
Yeah, and the
you
king escapes king f2 somehow.
All right, and this guy comes into play, yeah, and then we castle by hand,
Yes.
and we hope that we will play rook a3 and keep it forever, yeah. Okay, so queen b5 a3. Another approach for just a second. What do we think of knight b6? Knight b6, knight d4. Knight b6, knight d4. Ooh. I'm not happy. Let's go back. So we're here.
What happens if you take on c3?
Yes, take on c3. Queen takes c3. So bishop b4 was, no, that was a variation with rook a2 or something. How did we do it? We did something like this, I remember, right? Oh, but there was a rook on a2.
Yeah, this is...
I mixed the variation, sorry. So take on c3, Ellen. Queen takes c3.
We took on a2.
And then
direct
take on b4
yes.
and took on b4. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, Ellen, defend your suggestion. There's a... Shall we try rook a3? Yes. Rook a3, because we have ideas. Yes? So we take... this check, I can move my king to f2. So takes... too many things are hanging. Taking on c3 somehow encourages white to do everything he wanted. Let's try another way, a different approach. Rook takes a2, takes on b4, bishop here. Bishop takes, b5. Yeah? None. And now we have bishop a3, but something is dropping on c6. I'm not happy.
But you were not happy with your first variation, what you
No.
played from the beginning.
No, I was looking for something even more.
Because
the very first variation, I think,
good.
was okay.
Not more.
Yeah, well, it is two pieces for a rook and a pawn, right? So if we do this, for example, and what can we do? There is knight c2 check, by the way. I wanted to...
Yeah, there is a lot of...
funny stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to play bishop c1 or something.
Right, to defend. But it is two minor pieces. If white can manage castles, I can't imagine he would be worse. Unless there is something very...
direct, yes, technical.
Right here. That was why I was thinking that, well, I have to... Rook takes a2 somehow is okay. Let's see this. How about... I want to play queen b8, and... But rook takes c6, it's c8, right? Not sure, not sure. And, so rook c1. This has all the earmark feelings that something is going very right for black. And let me try, because this looks, it feels like this should be the most natural. The most natural way for black. And here I've done some moves, but now queen b5 didn't fit very well. How about Queen A6? Okay, give me the pawn.
Okay, I will not do that. So
You
I play
will-
A4.
Yes, falling for my cheap trap.
You have a trick.
No. But
The trap was that I would not play it.
exactly.
Yeah.
You avoided
Okay.
avoided that. And this knight on and this knight, the stupid knight on B2 is actually working. It's holding up all my play. That is remarkable. That is truly remarkable. Just a second. I've got to find a better square for my queen. Okay, this feels right. And how did we do it last time?
Knight D3.
Knight David 3. Okay. And let's just play a little bit. Bishop E7, castles. Castles, everybody's happy. Still a pawn down, though. I'm not happy about that. Okay. On a good day, I want to play Rook A3. And when my rook is on A3, I want to move my queen again.
Yeah. Maybe I can jump to C5.
Immediately, now, yeah? Knight takes C5, B takes C5, Rook A3, let's say, eyeballing this guy. And I want to do something like Queen A8 and Bishop out, right? If I can put my bishop on C4, I feel I have sufficient compensation for the pawn. It's not, it's a pawn, But, well,
Could I have taken on with the bishop first, maybe on C5?
Oh, sorry. Knight C5, Knight C5,
Take
bishop
with the
takes C. Yes.
Because I want to have my knight on D4 and with a pawn.
Yes, then you have a joyful connection.
Yeah.
Let's say, what to do? I have to get the rook out of the way, right? I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to get a good knight versus bad biship.
Yes,
position.
like in the French, normal.
Like the normal French.
Yes.
And then you go down without a shout. You just, you get snuffed out, the bishop. Unless the bishop gets here very, very quickly. Also, by the way, just at this exact moment, there must be other tricks for black. Sometimes I've seen really weird tactics that suddenly and magically appear in the position. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. And lastly, let me try this. Did we take with the queen last line?
Yes.
Last time, we took with the queen. Takes, bishop, rook, knight. Takes. I help white with this. I was looking again at these rook A3 ideas, and it seems white is too fast on the C6 square. On the
C5.
On the
The bishop also behind.
on C8,
Yeah.
Like that's a real pain. Annoying. Okay, this is just simply very annoying for black to deal with. Wow.
So
Something's not trustworthy about this position for white for me. But Rook C1 was a good move compared to the other variations that we were analyzing with C4, Knight A7. Black was having the fun. So this is a better move.
More tactical solution.
Can I offer this move? Knight A7. Okay, so it's a little bit stupid that I put my knight, but I want to clear the C file from the various threats, and if I can get this, then I'm happy. Then I just find a good square for my queen, and
You will come out.
yes. So
I have to take on
before.
B4.
Yes, that was my point. And let's say I go here. So I'm attacking the bishop twice. Fortunately for me, the bishop cannot retreat because bishop takes b4, and now I'm happy, right? If you take, maybe you don't, not so happy. I took, and now for the first time, I was having so much trouble getting my bishop on a good, I'm ready to do it right away. Okay. A3, not happy, not happy. This is not good for
But
knight d3, maybe something like this. Or do we like this still? It's funny. I've been so critical of the light squared bishop in the French. But once it's beautiful and radiant and so on, I'm willing to play a position, a pawn down, 2 pawns down.
just to get it out.
Just to get it out. It's sort of like suddenly I'm full of enthusiasm for black's position, even though white's position is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Very good. Stellan, I think it's a good time for our first break of the day. What do you think about that?
I have to check. Yes.
Excellent. It's in the FIDE manual.
Time for a break.
It's in the FIDE rules. And we will be back for the third round of the Tepe Sigeman International
Tepe and Sigeman and Company tournament. Chess tournament.
Chess tournament.
Yeah,
Even chess tournament.
2018. Yes.
2018.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
be
like,
precise. Yes.
1 meter.
Yes. Round 3. We'll be back in 10.
Yeah.
Hello,
Oh.
everyone, and welcome back.
Yeah, we have had some moves in this exciting Tari Morosevich game.
Absolutely, and the players have been following variation that we pointed out. It was our first
Yes,
variation
yeah.
because it was the most forcing, and somewhere along the line I thought, okay, black could improve, but Morozevich did not improve on the variation that we started with. So it was all very sharp. Bishop takes b4, queen takes b4, knight takes b4, rook takes c7, and now king d8. And our line had continued because white is a piece up for a pawn, but with the major piece, the rook, under attack by the king, as well as the knight on b2, our line featured rook takes c8, king takes c8, two minor pieces for a rook and a pawn, but this rook is very dangerous, as is the knight on c2 check threat, right? And here I think we were mainly occupied with bishop c1. Was that our main move?
I think so, yes.
Hard to remember.
Yeah.
And I suppose there's the idea of knight b3, knight c5, pardon me, with the idea of knight b3. I'm thinking knight d4. Does this make sense to, but then
Take on
b2 and something like this to win this guy. But, well, how would the line go? We would take, king, take. And is there a way to
annoy?
Very much so, right?
Yeah.
Annoy. That's a nice way to put it. I don't know, rook d8. Yeah. Here, white's activity looks very dangerous, right? Some compensation for a pawn, for sure. Shall we just see some line? Can I win a pawn back by force? I'm not sure. And what do I do with my beautiful knight? I would love to go here, but I have knight c4. Let's go back.
Knight c6 and just rook c8 and nothing going on.
Unfortunately, exactly right. Knight c6 and rook c8 and nothing going on. I mean, here you want to maybe f5. I don't think that there's any danger in the position for white, but a well-played draw or something of that nature. There is a one very, I do a lot of broadcasts with Jennifer Shahadi, and she is a very big fan of checkmating patterns. So whenever she even gets close to a checkmating pattern, she has to share with the audience that check, you have to drop back with a rook, because king e7 walks right into a big punch, knight c6 mate. So that's all rather much of a flow to it, doesn't it? The other question I had, Stellan, is what do you think of knight d1? This position. I'm assuming check, because really when you have a rook against the two minor pieces, you really hope they're not bishops. You know, the bishops tend to be a little bit more powerful than the knights against the rook. Here, because this knight is somewhat limited, the squares are all, and you could take the bishop, and
can I try to bring my other rook into play with
how?
Like king
c7.
Yes.
Yes, king c7. Very good idea for sure. Now I'm having a hard time wondering, how am I going to coordinate my beautiful minor pieces with my king sitting on the silly square? Well, I don't know. Rook b8 is coming. Then you're very, very active.
Yeah.
And my rook on h1 is not impressive. Well, at least it doesn't impress me. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm not thrilled.
No.
No.
I thought about this after bishop c1.
Yes.
When you could I play king c7 also in this?
Not to go.
No, yeah, I'm not sure. Just to try to.
King c7, and
I want to come. Yeah, I want to come with the rook.
Right. Okay. Am I permitted to castle? I'm afraid that if I do castle, the software is going to allow it.
Yeah, but probably it's allowed.
Oh, excellent. I'll have to check the FIDE rules on that one. Okay. So rook, and finally, at least in this case, I feel I have managed to coordinate a little
Knight
bit.
c5? Oh, no, it's c2. Actually.
Knight c2. Okay.
But I'm not sure what I'm doing actually.
Achieving. Well, you're forcing this rook is how do you say, blocked out of the game. So that looks like a good move. Oh, that's a pity. I would really like to preserve my bishop somehow. Maybe, it's annoying. Do I really have to give up my bishop?
For this knight.
For this ugly knight? Yeah. And then my knight, well, I have complained about it for some time. The knight on b2 really, still I can complain about it. Not impressive, just a second. So king c7, okay. Let me do it a different way. How about king d2, rook b8, and knight d4. So on a good day, my intention is to drive away these active pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Looks a
looking
little bit suspicious.
Correct.
The knight c5, e4, but I'm not in time.
Knight c5 to e4.
You play king c3 immediately, yes.
In time. Otherwise, yes.
Okay, so I need some tactics before this. Let's go. Or maybe two moves. You played king d2.
I did. Guilty.
Right into the pin.
Right into the pin.
But how do I?
So again, I'm dissatisfied that my rook and king are somehow, and in an ending, I'm a little bit more willing, so to speak, to advance with my king. Because it's an ending.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble understanding. The material imbalance makes it very difficult. And also the fact that there's not a real target in black's position. So sort of like, where am I aiming my pieces? At this moment, I think I'm just playing for coordination of my pieces.
If I try something like, I'm not sure if I do it immediately, like rook a1
and you just want to,
I want to find a square for my knight.
You use it as a reserve opportunity. Okay. It makes a lot of sense, for sure. Should I go on the offense here? I don't know. I'm targeting this pawn on f7.
Knight c5 maybe?
Yes. Okay, knight c5 so that you have e4. Now I really want this guy, to be resolved. How should I do that to resolve this? King c3 walks into knight a2. And if I take a pawn,
Rook f8.
rook f8, makes a lot of sense. Your rook will end up here,
Yeah.
yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so knight here,
Take.
take on f4 right away, yes?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Okay. Here you also had a, no, e6 is hanging.
yeah. So then I have to play h. But then I play knight.
h3.
Yeah.
Well, but this is okay. This one, I was thinking that you had not this tricky business, right?
Ah, yes.
Something
Mm.
like this where, okay,
Mm.
I'll get 3 pieces, but
But black
no,
is okay. Always.
black is more
Yeah.
than okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure about it as well. So king d2, rook a1. You, oh, pardon me, rook a1. Okay, so let's try this guy. So the idea is I want to put my bishop on b2 to gain a tempo, and I don't know, knight c3, knight d4. It's tough at coordinating these minor pieces. It's really annoying. It all starts
Yeah.
from the fact that the knight on b2 is ugly.
Yeah.
It's an ugly piece.
Yeah, I don't know. Knight c5, maybe.
Knight c5, and I can tickle you, but your,
Give a check.
yes, your knight is beautiful on e4. Really, really good. Really good.
2 knights.
Yes.
A lot of.
Very good play, it feels like for me. For you, pardon me.
Mm.
And you have played it right away, this. Let me try this one. My intention is to recapture with the bishop. So in case of this.
Yeah. And now maybe the knight or the other rook, I'm not sure.
Or here. But this is, well, without any targets, so you have a very solid structure, even though you only have a minimum of 1 pawn against the 2 minor pieces. The structure is very solid.
Yeah.
It feels like this should be
Okay for black.
okay for black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, we changed to
Right.
another game. maybe.
Absolutely.
We didn't look for.
And by the way, is Tari still on move after king d8?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so he hasn't taken
No.
on c8. All right.
Mm.
Very good. And this game is between Nils and Linus.
I have made a lot of moves.
Okay. We left it after bishop takes f6, knight
Knight
c3.
Yeah. Took immediately.
Took immediately.
Are forcing him to take with a
Pawn.
pawn, yes. Which he probably
did.
would do
Wanted.
anyway. Yeah.
And then he was justifiably afraid of the knight. I think we were castling and allowing the knight to go to c5, and well, white just felt a little bit more comfortable. So knight to e7, controlling the a4 square. I think we looked at this. I offered b5 as a knee-jerk response.
Yeah, but then the bishop was still alive on e3 because you answered queen a5 with bishop d2. So,
okay.
Maybe.
So it's a little bit different than the variation we looked at. And knight f4. Okay, so we're up to date with the players, and white is a little bit better because he's just faster developed.
They actually
for the
played
moment.
some more queen g3.
Queen g3, maybe eyeballing this pawn. Ideas of queen h3, perhaps. It's interesting, just a pause, because there's also this move I was attracted to. My eye was drawn to this
Castle.
and I wanted to put my knight on e5. It's not the greatest achievement, but it's something. Do you want to take with the rook or the pawn?
Okay, take with the rook probably.
So if this knight was magically on e4, somehow it would be even. But at the moment this knight is on e5 and it's reaching
Yeah,
a
D7.
little-
Yeah, that's
a little bit into the position, D7 and F7, yeah? Okay, that was not his intention. He has played Queen G3, and this was met by, wow, that is extremely optimistic.
yeah.
Normally speaking, everybody likes to have their king castled before you go on the
But
attack
what would
as
have
black.
happened on knight F5? I don't.
That is a good question.
Would he?
Let's go back. Knight to F5. And I'm sure Nils had it in his mind to play Queen H3. We missing something else?
Not sure.
Okay, Queen H3, and he wants to take and take.
Okay, I was.
No, you're asking the obvious
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Yes?
Looks a little bit.
Should be some dangers in the position for black. No? I mean,
Some.
you're still here.
Yes.
Or at least black's king is still on the...
Take on D4 is extremely optimistic.
Yes, now you're...
Losing a piece after
Yes,
take on E6. Yes.
yes. So, he has played Rook C3, which, well, if Knight F3 takes E3 is optimistic, this looks really optimistic. And now Knight H5. Okay, so now he wants to take and drop with Queen on G7. And are we up to date? That's it?
Yep. So this is the position right now.
Well, Knight takes G7 is a very big threat,
Yeah.
I would say. What was his idea? Your club mate.
I think he maybe will change his mind. Can he castle maybe?
Castle.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now you take and. Yeah.
Wow. That's a scary move. Okay, may I play here? So my idea is very simple. I want to play Knight D7 and the old forkaroo, right?
Yeah. Knight F5.
So
We
takes.
Takes and knight
Give me your queen,
or rook or bishop.
or all three.
Yeah.
The rook, queen,
Yeah.
or all three.
Okay.
Why can't black take on E3 directly?
Oh, we missed something. Right now, Pia, you want to take the rook, yes?
Start position.
And Knight D7 and rook takes E3.
No, not
Okay.
no.
No,
Not. I think in the
Starting?
instead of a castle. I think.
yeah.
But then.
That's it. I just wanted,
Yeah,
yes, we will
we'll
come
take-
back just a moment. I think that this was actually a nice little trick to point out to everybody. Here, 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 on D7. If you play a move, I don't,
Queen
E6,
E6. Yes.
check. Oops. Queen G7 mate.
Yeah. I would like to take with a rook on F6.
But I will take on G7 and
Yeah.
not the rook. So we have to go back, back, back. And instead of castles, we shall look at rook E3, I suspect. Okay? Now we pause because I'm very, very attracted to the move Queen B8.
Yes.
Because I can mess up black's king very badly in this way. Knight G7, king. Knight G7, king D7, knight E5 check, rook E5. Rook, wow, what's going on? If I go here, now this I assume is just very good for white. Is this assumption correct?
Yeah.
One a pawn and
yeah, still
weak king.
yeah.
Yeah? Okay, let's assume that's correct. Can the king move somewhere?
Yeah, D7 then.
D7, there was this check, right? And then you want to take, right? Give me the queen. If you take the rook, oops. This seems to be a recurrent theme,
Yes.
you know. I mean, I think we managed to lose our queen twice or thrice or
Well, we are not
something.
finished yet.
Yes.
We will do it.
Again.
Yes.
We will do it again. Okay, so king comes up, queen comes here. Give me the rook or give me the bishop.
Take
The
on
rook
F3.
takes F3, yes. And this looks like black's king is suddenly safe.
Yeah, and I will get the knight.
Right. So we have to go back, and we do it the other way. Takes. Give me the rook, and give me this pawn. I need this pawn on f6 very much, because that allows my knight the e5 square.
So then I play rook F8 instead of rook.
Yes,
I have to defend this.
precisely. Rook f8.
Yeah.
And then this rook is too strong in the position.
Of course, you have knight E5 still. But
On tap.
yes.
A little bit.
Mm.
This isn't so clear. Let's see. So we start with takes on e3. We go back. And let's imagine I like my knight on f5. Right? I'm all happy about it. Check. Queen d8. Give me a pawn. Castle.
Yes.
Get out of dodge.
Yeah.
And should I be doing it like this? Or should I include this one? Let me include this one.
You don't want to exchange the rook on E3.
I'm kind of thinking that rook on e3 is out for a moment. We will just see.
Mm.
Do you take with the rook or the pawn?
Yeah, the eternal question.
The eternal question.
Yes. Okay, we try rook.
Okay. And away we go. So we are thinking that your rook is good, but for the moment we're going to try to argue it's ineffective. So when we realize we're wrong, we'll take it all back.
But if I take with a pawn, then I'm afraid of this rook
Also the
E1.
same.
Or you want to play rook C1.
Now you're afraid
Yes,
that
this one
will end up being a weakness. This guy is
Yes, this also.
As grandmasters, we're always afraid to lose our little babies. You know, we want to protect all the kids. You know.
Why not take with the bishop on d4 instead of castle?
Okay, Pia is making a very good question. Check. We did it. We had to
Drop
defend.
back.
So we took it.
It's defended.
No.
It's
And
defended. By the
She means like this.
no,
Oh.
well, but the knight take.
The bishop. But no, she has a point. I thought she wanted this. So that.
Yeah, let's say she did.
Yeah, no,
Let's.
that's a good. And now we're crying because our grandmaster titles are in doubt. You know, we were Fide's on the phone. You know, there we go. We lost our grandmaster title. Okay,
But if we had included knight takes F6,
at the start, right?
Yeah.
It seems like we're going to have to, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Knight takes f6 at the start, takes. By the way, again, this is the most forcing,
yeah,
and it's always the job of the grandmaster to look at the most forcing line. So now we took a pawn, asking black what he would like to do. King f7 is maybe very nice, but unfortunately you don't want to walk into such a line. And here it's telling you
I like this. Yes.
you like this. And I like white too.
Yeah.
It's just fun. You didn't sacrifice anything, and
Weaknesses and activity, and
everything is looking good.
yeah.
So, and by the way, am I up to date with the players? yes, no,
So
no,
we
no,
can-
yes.
Knight h5. Yeah, and he's thinking. He's not
thinking.
taking. Yeah.
It's not easy for black, actually. This is not a joyful moment. Again, to remind everybody, there is a nasty knight d7 idea that we. This trick is just.
Yeah, just winning.
Just winning.
Yeah.
So, and in this case, after knight e5, this is very unpleasant for the first player, the second player as well, because the threat of g7 checkmate is simply too powerful. So knight h5.
I'm thinking.
Well, rook c3 really was an amazing move. That's very optimistic. We think that Linus is in trouble here. Let's go back to Benjamin and Vidit.
Yeah, it was a long time we looked at.
Yeah, we were about here,
Yeah.
where we were struggling for Benjamin, trying to find an edge. He chose g3, which is a move I think we came around to. Very interesting move, bishop d7. I think our main focus had been on bishop d6 in order
to exchange. Yes.
to play rook d3 in exchange, yes. Vidit decided that his bishop was fine on g7 versus bishop on d4, and the game continued. Well, you don't want to live with this rook on.
No,
no,
so I have to exchange it.
But here's the question: would you rather exchange it on f3 or d1? The reason I ask. When I play rook d1 and everything comes off, then the rook is on a chopping block, right? If I have played rook f3, then I keep the... First of all, I improve my queen.
Yes.
Yay. Second of all, I'm thinking that I can maybe utilize the rook. Okay, Benjamin did play rook d1, change, b5. Makes sense, support the pawn. a4 also makes sense. Trade off your weak e. Everybody is happy. And now, is this it? No more moves after this?
I think so. If you look at this, yeah, this is the position.
Okay. So this bishop is beautiful, but as far as I can see, the only leverage that we can use it further is to try to bring the rook to a7. Why not? Shall we give it a go?
Is it important to take the diagonal with the queen?
You
I'm not sure if maybe black will.
So let's say I go here. I'm thinking to try to play rook a7. And you think queen c6 or bishop f8 or something?
Bishop f8.
Okay, so yay, I entered.
Queen. You want to play queen g2 and just exchange the queen.
That's right.
Yeah.
So queen c6, queen g2.
But
I don't say this is
taken
winning.
b4.
Yeah. I don't say this is winning at all or anything like that. I just thought, well, let me get my rook on a great square. Should I don't know, rook here. If you trade, I can take.
The exchange sacrifices never.
Ah.
I'm thinking about the pawns yesterday again.
Yes.
But now maybe they are
Wow.
rook c7 and it's the end.
Momentarily I
so
stalled.
So I have to wait for a better moment.
Okay, makes sense. So you can play b3.
And I can, if I take on c3.
Oh, sorry. No, nothing. You can certainly take on c3.
Yeah, and enter with the rook.
Enter with the rook. Back. Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes. Something like this. Well, you know, it's sad. It's very sad. I work so hard to get my rook to a7. You really like
to give a mate.
Yeah,
yes.
to prove that that all of that effort was worth was worthwhile. Let's go back here for just a second. Take. Fair enough. Let me start with a different idea. Give me the pawn. So if you play queen c6,
now you play this again.
This again, and this time I'm thinking that, well, maybe I can exploit my space. But even if I get all of this, you know, your rook is on b8, let's say.
b8 and
I'm not
bishop
going,
f8, yes.
I'm not going g4, f5 with some, you know, like glory days of, well, okay, it looks pretty still very even and balanced, even after all of these efforts by white. h4,
trying to
soften up a little bit.
Yeah.
Some
because then with a rook on a7 later on, then it could be dangerous.
Yes. I'm not a big believer that white's space advantage is giving him anything really concrete. One of the problems I'm having is I'm looking at this structure, and somehow these 3 pawns are neutralizing my majority, and this pawn, as beautiful as it is, isn't neutralizing in quite the same way. b4 is always on tap for black. So, I mean, if we do something like the same ideas, right? Let's just see what might go wrong. I'm dreaming of a rook d4 kind of idea in the very near future. Let's see. c2 and rook d4 is the dream continuation. I'm not happy that, I mean, that's an awfully...
now white is in trouble.
That's an awfully big pawn, 1 square away from promotion. And if you don't like that, if you don't like being a pawn down, it's still
just
no worse at all.
But okay, I don't take on, I have to take on g6.
Okay.
And I want to play queen e4 to... Aha, you are not taking back.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it. How big a threat? So first of all, I'm not forced to take either.
I thought I could take on c4 then.
Yes. No, that's the whole point. I'm not forced to take either.
I as a shield.
As a shield, yeah. I am thinking about some combinations. I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah, something like this.
I don't know. You have to have nerves of steel to play like this for both colors.
Take with a rook.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a
who will queen?
It's a massive mess. Wow. Here, unless I'm giving some wonderful checkmate, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I am nervous with white.
And with black.
And with black, yeah. I will be happy when the game ends in a perpetual check.
Yes.
Somehow, I don't know, starting with queen g4.
Yes.
Okay, but suddenly the position got very tactically messy. Bishop f8, of course, is not the only move. I mean, if black did it once, he can just ask the question, you got h4, I get h5, do you really want to play g4?
But now, maybe when the rook enters on a7, with the queen on e4.
Queen. You start maybe with queen e4.
Yeah, start with the queen.
That is a good point. Now this is such an important tempo. That is right. That's a very good point. So I think h5 is a wrong move. I apologize. Queen, the g6 square weakness is too important. And is this weird or not? Let's say I play queen c6, h5, what else? Yeah. And let's say I'm the one taking the open
Yeah.
A file. But in this case, at least
and that was a new.
a new variation springs.
Yeah.
You have the D file. Okay, intriguing position. I still feel it's finely balanced, but I think that this game between Niels is the one most likely to have a result.
Yeah.
Yeah? What has he done after knight?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Thinking.
Deep thoughts.
Maybe one move too late.
Yes.
Maybe.
Deep thoughts. Oh boy. It's not easy for a suggestion. What were the moves we were looking at mostly? Rook e3 was
Rook
one.
e3 and castle is the move.
Castles is again. This is the great combination with rook takes
But-
f5.
But if you don't, what is your? Do we have another threat that after knight e5? Let's say I play
Well, f6 is the threat, right? Give me
Yeah.
the
a knight d7 is a threat.
rook f6 and mate. Or
So
knight
there
f6.
there is a threat all over.
There are some very consequential threats, yes.
So this is just winning.
Just winning.
And take on e3 was extremely dangerous. So this we
Well,
didn't like.
We just got to a position like this,
Yeah.
and we said, well, white is just for choice because he's pressing against two weaknesses, and he didn't sacrifice anything. I
No.
mean, and black is under pressure essentially for nothing. If you trade a rook and you do something, well, you know me, I'm not adverse at all
No,
to
but
this pawn.
so now black has to do something
More-
fantastic, but we don't see it.
No,
Rook e4, you just take on a7 also.
I could.
Or you
yeah,
take on e4, yeah,
Take
of course.
twice,
Yeah,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Take on a3 or take on e6. That's also
And
time
this
to resign.
no, this looks too nice.
That's catastrophe.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there is no.
So here, and the times of the players, by the way,
Yeah,
for Linus.
if it's correct, because I don't see this one working so well. I go to this.
I have about 29 minutes, but I
Yeah,
was just
we shall not
want to
trust.
make a confirmation.
We will see. I will check. It says
Wow.
46. No, sorry, we have some more moves. 46 for Candelius and 28 for.
So more or less, we did okay. Okay, we think that Niels is doing very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very intriguing developments in the game between Tari and Morozevich. We left it around these parts. Finally, he took. And Tari understood that he has a very difficult time coordinating. We were playing bishop c1. I think that was our main move. And perhaps we also considered knight d1 as the
Yeah.
two.
Very passive move.
Yeah. He played king
Ah,
d2
I understand. I want to play king
And-
c3.
and king c3. A good general leads his army into battle. You
Yes.
know, yes, exactly. Okay, so we have this position, and Morozevich took.
and
took.
took. So now we got one extra pawn. Now
Yes,
it's
very, very important to
Yeah.
get that extra pawn. So, sorry, I was grabbing the wrong piece there. Apologies. So, check.
Yeah.
And where do we put this king? It looks like we have no choice. We have to put it on the A file to protect the bishop, I mean.
Yeah, and then we just
King b7. So we're
We'll
threatening
have
a mate.
so I just play bishop a6.
And it's weird. Both
But-
kings are terribly placed, I
Yeah.
would say. I mean,
But especially whites, I guess.
yeah,
Yes.
the rooks are a little bit more threatening on the files, right?
Yeah.
And for the moment, there's some also awkward issues here that white has.
I think this looks dangerous for white. or
It does. It feels dangerous for white, right? Are we missing something? This looks
take.
like it's not
Mhm.
often you see grandmasters walking their king on a plank. A very dangerous one too. Black's king is no joy on a8. I'm just wondering if black can even
I want to play it slow.
well, slow,
but mate.
mate is
Yeah,
mate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. What's going on? Tari had to analyze this. This must be his.
Shit.
This is his line that he can block somehow. This is really weird. It's not often you see the rooks getting
No.
blocked by bishops. You know, like
And the
check
knight
on
on
the-
d7 is
is under pin.
open, yeah.
Is under a pin. But it's like, this is
King.
too weird.
King e8, king
I don't know.
king b4.
King b4, knight d4.
Four.
This looks like it's weird. I don't like that. But okay, our main line looked pretty
Yeah, I like
Intriguing.
this. Yeah, because it was, like you say, more forcing.
very forcing.
Yeah, because
Check.
only move. Yeah.
And
How do we stop rook b8 and
Rook b8,
and rook
yes.
a2?
okay, so black has a very clear idea of checkmate. and there could also be an accident along the
Yeah.
third rank too. So two very awkward threats, I would say. But it's all forcing. And he did it himself. He marched his king
Yeah.
right up the queen side. And by the way, do we have it right? That rook g2, I think, has been played.
Yeah,
And king b4 and rook b2 check is very forcing.
been played also, I can see, and
Yes.
also king a5. So this is the
Wow.
position.
Wow. Okay, two pawns and a rook for two minor pieces. Materially speaking, an edge for the rook.
Black.
Yeah,
And
for
an
black.
And maybe an attack
And
also.
the attack, that's much more frightening. And king
And yeah,
b7
it was played.
was played. And again, threat of rook a8
A8.
mate.
Had to give the shot.
Pardon me. Have to give a check.
And king a8 was very strong.
Okay. With again a threat of just simply mating the mating the white king on the two files.
Yeah.
I must say, I would be very, very nervous in white shoes. Does he have bishop d4, Stalin?
I thought,
No.
I thought maybe you can give a check also on a2 in a position like this.
That's
and,
exactly
and then
right.
and the bishop on a6 is,
It's lost, simply, or it may be even worse than that.
because you can also play just knight b8
Exactly.
and take it.
And take it.
Yeah.
But this is also,
And now you have to play king c6.
I think that, this is almost like a march to your own death, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like, oh dear, I've got a feeling that, oh,
I have to go king f8.
yeah. Run and run and
Yeah.
run and run. No. Tari,
So this was played again, bishop a6.
It's
and
also
king, yeah,
forcing.
also played.
yeah, no, it has a great flow, but the problem is the flow favors black.
Yeah, now
Right.
it's no flow anymore for white.
Exactly.
How do we stop it?
very, very, very big trouble here for white. It feels like white is in over his head. What an extraordinary idea. I'm not used to seeing grandmasters running their king right into a mating net. I mean, unless I've
The
missed
other
a
variation
defense.
must have been very bad, but it was not so bad.
I don't think it was so bad. I didn't think, I thought it was more or less an even game, actually. Wow. By the way, I think we do have a move, bishop b5. I don't believe it, of course, anymore for white, but that was his move.
And also a knight is hanging. Okay, so you had seen a move at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So just to repeat, this was the previous position, and the threat was rook a8 with a mate, and he's played this. So it means that for sure Morozevich has a draw, and white is the one trying to save the game. Now, can he? I have my doubts. Can I be so bold? Let's take a look at this one for just a second. I have some really weird ideas here. But these are bishops, right? They are covering.
Yes.
Yeah, they're covering a lot of squares somehow. Here, check. It's weird, right? The king is, white's king is in the open, but black's king is, I've done some, is this
What's
weird?
going on?
What's going on?
King b4.
King b4, all right. Give me this guy.
And now
I'm thinking.
there is no time to do any damage on the other side.
Checkmate, yeah. You can put me in, you know, I always loved, I was so proud of myself when I could mate with the two bishops against the lone king, right? It made such a great feeling. By the way, rook c8 is just a fantasy, but do you see something better than rook c8? I would love to play rook b8 and get a position like this. If I could achieve a position like this, somehow I'm happy. But the problem I'm having is that rook b8, if I play rook b8 at once, I'm afraid of bishop c6 check.
Yeah, should be.
Oops.
Yeah.
And I'm forced to put my rook in the way. Oh no, hate that. So that was why I was trying rook c8 and rook c3. Is there a nicer way? You mentioned the simple knight b8, right?
Yeah, I also thought about rook a2 now.
Rook a2 now, yes, I like that move. King, I think the king has to come.
I now wanted to pin
with rook b8, yeah?
Threatening rook b2 may
maybe mate, yes?
Yes.
So I have to defend the bishop.
Time to do this. Okay, not so clear. The king is out.
The problem is, again, that black's king is somehow vulnerable as well. It's not all, unfortunately, just play on one goal, right?
So maybe not a check. We have to do something better. So bishop b5.
Yes.
And we have the draw.
We have our draw, I think, in several ways. But, So what was this again? Rook a2 check, yes? King b4, rook b8, I'm sorry, knight d4, yes? Now we have to be clever. Is there a way that way? So what is white's actual threat? Do we have a threat for white?
No, he's just happy to be alive.
To be alive. Okay. So, on the basis that there's no threat in the position for white, let me play this silly move. Silly. The problem with this silly move is that after knight takes e6, even though I can win the bishop, there's a knight c7 check.
Yes.
And I'm not happy about that bailout.
Okay, if I give a check again on b2, then you have to
Go back.
go back, and then can I? Because
I
now
want to get this knight in.
yeah, I
the
wanted to
game,
play knight c, but you have this check again, and then knight.
Annoying.
Yeah, knight b5. Ah,
I'm not happy that this bishop is actually tremendous
yeah,
suddenly.
yeah.
It's really annoying for black. We're not finding, I must say, we're not finding
The killing move.
a killer
No.
blow. But this bishop b5. And by the way, I think we've repeated king b7 once. Let me just refresh
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Morozevich is, according to my, that's one. No, hold on. What did we do?
We have this. Yes.
This is one-time position, right? Check. Two-time position.
Check.
And
Now I
white to
guess
play.
he will play bishop b5. I guess.
everything else we tried didn't
Yeah.
work at
Yeah.
all. So yes, so now this is where I was looking at rook c8 and just now rook a2. Yeah. And he has played
Bishop b5, and we
So
will
king
see.
b7 is a third time repetition for
Yeah.
sure. And well, let's say if Tari gets away with, the march
yeah.
of the king, to Moscow.
So maybe he
and,
has calculated
well.
very well.
Now we can't say that. That's too grand.
Yeah, but maybe.
We should say that he got lucky. Nice escape
Yeah.
or something. Any questions about this game or?
Yeah, I had a
otherwise?
question.
Yes, please.
Will it end in a draw?
It's feeling like it is.
Yeah.
Because the obvious rook a2 and rook b8 has full buck.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But
We're suspecting it is. And by the way, we had a very interesting question from our audience on the internet. What is your view of comparing the game of Go and chess?
I don't know much about Go.
Okay.
But I understand it's very complicated game.
Yeah.
Strategic
Yeah.
game.
When I was young, about the same age that I was learning chess, I started to play a lot of Go. Well, a lot of Go, but I played Go. And I found it really a fantastic game, like really comparable to chess in a different way, but really a game of extraordinary depth. And I think that the Go players have had the same disappointments as the chess players. So
Yeah.
what happened in 1996 was Garry Kasparov, he lost to Deep Blue. And everybody said, oh, this was premature, the computers aren't that good. And then this year, or was it this year?
Last year.
Last year.
Last year.
It was AlphaGo.
AlphaGo, yes.
Defeated one of the best players in the world in Go.
Yeah.
And the Go player said, oh, this was premature, you
Yeah.
know, and everything. Sorry, I had a question.
What about your venture into the, is it 8x10 chessboard?
8x8.
Okay.
SCHESS.
How was it?
Now we can.
And we do have a draw.
You're
Yes. Sasha, Tari, come and join, and we got a microphone for you guys. We need one more chair.
Hope you enjoyed this game.
Very much, very much. It was really fascinating. And yes, well,
We have one more.
we. Yeah.
You've done a great job.
Well,
To contribute
be played.
Yeah, well, you need to confirm our faulty understandings.
Faulty.
Faulty indeed.
Maybe our understanding is faulty.
Yes. Well, first of all, Morozevich, thank you for joining and
Sure.
welcome to the show. And Tari, you both deserve great credit for the entertaining game. Tell us about it. Take us. We just have to do this, and away you go. So first, you have a French defense. This is just to advance the.
Yeah, this is kind of very well known. This is a bit forgotten. The line is not so fashionable, maybe a bit suspicious, but I decided to give it a try.
Yes.
Here white was a huge choice, and very hard to say what is the best. But this is kind of old,
Challenging.
old and previous line.
Oh yes, you just need a. Sorry, you just. Yeah, that might. Yeah, the one in your hand is fine. Go ahead. You guys can share that, and yeah. Okay.
One this.
Yes.
I think it doesn't contribute a lot, no?
Well, not to our audience, but to our internet audience.
Sure. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. No problem.
I saw that Alexander had a game here in '95, I think.
In '98,
98.
against unknown player for the young generation, Tepe,
You won that game.
which you I'm sure know very well. Yeah, we played in Elite Olympiad. But I think in '98. But I think in that game I went F6.
You went F6, yeah.
F6, and at that moment it was considered, and I think after F6 it was F4. And here's the problem after F4, that basically you would like to keep this structure, but the rook b8 is too passive, but simply takes and okay, I can show takes, I go, I think knight d4.
Yes.
And that's a problem, because if I take on f5, he takes on e6. If I take on d4, even c takes d4. And
right.
black has a very passive
Position.
Yes, so unfortunately for black, he has to take.
Right.
And I think that's probably what I've done in that game. And I think that Christopher, in some moment, he simply took on f6. Like, e takes, knight takes, and bishop d3, bishop d6.
E takes, f6. Oops,
Yeah, I think in our game it was something like this, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure that my memory is not betraying me. It was 20 years ago. Bishop d6.
Yes.
Yeah. So the point for black that, okay, now we have this structure on the queen side is ruined, but we have some activity, some castle, knight e4, some jumps. And I thought at that time it was maybe playable. Okay, something like this. We can consider that the knight is jumping, and maybe we can compensate for these weaknesses on the queen side. But I think, because the problem that I was looking into this line in January is these here. But since I'm playing too many different games, and since I have too many different students, my mind was so confused that at the board suddenly I understood that it's like I'm looking at this position for the first time in my life. and I was saying, okay, but you looked in January, this year, come on, not 2015, not 98, but you looked at this year, this position. Okay, please come up with some move.
Right.
And then I thought, because when I was looking in January, this f6 wasn't working well. And I was trying to remember why, but
isn't knight d4 also possible instead of a4?
Yes, knight d4 is also possible. Yeah.
I think that was what I was going to play.
Yeah. Okay. a4 or knight d4. Yeah. There are two moves. Yes. This move is also possible. And somehow I couldn't remember why I disliked f6 in January 2018. and I also remember that in some of this position I was checking f5 move. f5 looks, of course, completely ugly, but. And then I thought, okay, if I cannot remember why f6 was bad, but f6 somehow I didn't like, I decided to play 5. Right. And this looks okay. White.
This was my first move I looked at, and it was only after a5. I said, well, what is the theory? And Stellan found your f6 move.
Yeah, but rook c1 was a surprise for me.
I
think I remember it on the castle and c4 on the 2.
I was considering c4.
Yeah, right. Yeah, c4 looks the most natural. Yeah, c4.
And what was the intent? What was your intention after c4? Because I was having I was having a little fun with
think
our
this-
audience here.
I think this one.
Ah, very good. That was what, because the greedy B3,
greedy B3 I'm not
I
sure.
gave up with.
Yeah,
But
I
knight
think this
A7
one,
I
yeah.
thought was the problem.
Yeah, knight 7, but it looks suspicious a bit for black, so I spend most of the time checking this line. Okay, I didn't see how I'm losing here, but it looks a bit shaky, of course, for
If
black.
you go rook a3 instead of knight a7, is that possible?
Rook a3,
Yes.
this might be possible,
Stop castle, but maybe it takes on rook c1.
or maybe rook c1 here, no? Why you need to take immediately if you just go rook c1?
Don't trust it for white, though, no? D4, perhaps? The knight on B2 makes such a sorry impression, no? Yeah, I mean, you're
Rook
always...
d4, you can take even knight d4. Why not?
Yes.
Knight d4,
Yeah,
bishop
maybe,
d4.
but I just thought rook on
Then
a3 is
maybe
somehow
castle.
powerful.
Yeah.
It's maybe powerful, but also your position is quite powerful. So,
Yeah.
okay, somehow was expecting this move, but
Rook C1 was probably the
it's,
best.
it's an interesting move, yeah, because I thought it gives black different options, but after a long consideration, I didn't find any good idea for black here.
I
Probably
couldn't
not
find
the best move because what black played, I think black was.
Yeah,
fine.
so first I thought that maybe bishop b6 is okay. What was your intention here?
Ah, bishop a6. I would
Yeah.
take. I think
Where?
on a6.
On a6.
Wow.
Okay, I take.
If I go cb, what were you going to play?
Queen b7.
I don't like that. Okay.
I think it's absolutely fine for black. No, but I mean, I thought that I was checking this line
Right.
for a long time. This, okay, you take.
Right.
Most likely queen b7, a3,
We were having many positions like this,
a3.
yes?
Yeah, and now I thought that after bishop b7, my first thought that black should have like some compensation, because if white goes with knight to c6, it somehow has this check suddenly. And it's actually good for black, because if okay, bishop f5 simply takes is good, and g3, bishop b5. And if knight f5 takes is d4.
Yes.
And this d4 is extremely important.
Yes, because
Yeah, so
the rook on
nice,
8,
yes.
this
So
is...
takes and d4.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, so first take, and d4 suddenly comes.
Oops.
And it's good. Yeah, because the
Just
rook is
winning.
king.
Yeah.
So this line first I thought it was good, but then I couldn't understand if white instead of knight d4 will go just king f2.
Yes,
Some
this was also...
artificial castle as this, rook f1, most likely f6. I don't see any other reasonable play. At least this line I was checking bishop d4. Okay, imagine I take and take.
Right.
And this looks a bit shaky for white for a moment, but if he will manage everything, then it's probably okay. Rook f4, I can try, but I wasn't sure that how to evaluate this position, because white has a fantastic blockade, and this bishop on e6 looks
Yes.
so out of play now.
But rook f4 should be playable, right? Because knight on b2 is also
Yeah,
still out of the
yeah,
game.
but okay, I didn't know how to evaluate it. I was thought that maybe between playable and maybe can be dangerous for black if white will keep this blockade, knight
Maybe,
f4,
yeah,
knight
yeah.
c5, and all the pieces on the dark squares, and basically my queen is not really active. The pawn will go. So about this position, I wasn't sure. So I thought that maybe it's playable, but it can easily be bad for black. And the other move, which I also here thought instead of f2, I was also considering queen b7 with
Right.
very similar ideas.
Right. This is
But
where we
white
were also
can
focusing.
do basically this method, just to take. And the problem is that queen b5 should be okay, but then a3 comes.
Yeah, your bishop on c8 is always.
Yeah, knight d4 next move. So this is not good. So and if queen b7, which is probably better, then white can go this. And again, it's very doubtful. I mean, I need to prove if I have enough compensation for the pawn. I mean, okay, I have some lines, but I'm also lacking.
Yeah, this shouldn't be enough, I think.
Yeah, it looks like what should be better. And only after this, I decided, okay, if the normal moves are not good,
Yes.
so I have to check more carefully, crazy ones.
Yes.
And that's how I came up with this decision.
I was looking at bc3 also.
Where?
Is that bc3?
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
And how
But
did
this
it go?
move, I didn't like it all. And if you take,
Queen a5. But I mean, what you did was better, but I thought this was possible.
but this thinking may be better for white. No?
Yeah, I
If you
wasn't
take-
sure actually. You get bishop a3 later, but
Hmm.
maybe.
How would the line go, Tari?
Take,
On A5,
yeah, knight takes.
Yes.
If I castle, he goes bishop a3.
Right.
Then maybe you have rook b8 at some point.
Yeah,
I wasn't
maybe.
really sure actually about this position.
Yeah, knight on 5 looks ugly, but all the other pieces
No, no.
can be okay for all black. Yeah?
Right.
This was what I was expecting.
Okay. Not bad. Intriguing.
Yeah.
That was one of the moves we didn't consider.
Yeah, also somewhat didn't pay so much attention to
Yeah.
the C3, so that only helps white you know,
Yes.
to open the C file.
Right.
What Alexander played, I didn't consider actually. I'm just miss king d8.
Yes, okay, we went to this. Okay, but here I think you have lots of moves. Okay. First I was basically checking not to lose here immediately.
Yes.
Despite that, okay, probably I will take this knight back, but still position looked shaky. But I don't know if maybe some engines was showing something. But
We didn't use our engines in
I thought the rook
analysis.
s7.
Rook a7 was what I was focusing on, but
Yes.
castles, I wasn't sure. Knights, can you go knight c2 or?
Double attack against the bishop on
Yes,
d5.
I need to play actively, otherwise rook c1 and it should be my king is in a total box.
I was looking at rook c1 here, but I think maybe you can take on e3.
Wow, rook c1 here.
Probably just take on e3.
Yes, but here I can take, because if you take, I take, and it should be okay. Check, check, rook h8.
But you have activity.
Yeah, but should be okay. Maybe something more tricky, but here at the moment not easy to find. No? Okay, but anyway, I wasn't sure about my position here. So, so, but since I didn't like the other lines, I decided
to go this way.
Let's die like a man,
Yeah.
in some open fight,
Right.
not in this French torture.
But
rook c1, yes, I was also thinking rook c1, rook b2, and just castle short, yeah.
we haven't looked at this in our analysis.
Yeah,
either.
actually, these are also thought for white. It can be interesting.
Because you're
Because now
knight
it's knight
g5.
c2, then bishop d7. Probably that's the point. And then they
rook
have this,
f2.
and then rook f3 is coming, and I'm pinned.
Yes.
If I go bishop s6, I thought that it's maybe I can try to do this, but even simple lines like this, and black will solve here, I think, and despite the extra pawn. f5 is also coming.
I underestimated this.
I mean,
It's easy to underestimate.
yeah, I mean, so black should not maybe lose immediately, but it's quite unpleasant. f5 also coming, and also all this possible invasion of the rook is also coming. I don't know, can I play such move like g6, but I doubt it. Okay, hoping that maybe king a7, king f8, king g7 in some theoretical line, but but looks of course pretty far away. And
Yeah.
So my pieces are like this. And in the game we went to this line, which looks kind of forced.
And our first instinct was that we were looking at bishop c1.
Yeah.
And then later we looked at knight d1, and in our evaluations we always thought that black was okay.
Definitely, I think he's very active. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the bishop c1 is
knight d1 is
not
also knight c2, and it's not nice. I have to go king f1.
Yes, that's right.
That's okay. No, actually it's maybe already correct for white, right? Try to play
But
as
this
active.
leads to a forced draw, I think.
Wow. Well, I like that the king was leading its army into battle. I mean, but first instinct was, my God, you're walking into a mating net. You had to calculate very carefully
knight
the
c2
lines.
is also not
Yeah,
necessary.
if one mistake, you lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One mistake.
Okay, knight c2 is also possible, but it doesn't lead to anything.
Yeah, but I did like this.
Just
It
take
was not
rook
correct.
c1 and knight g5 later.
Can you
Yes.
show our audience knight c2?
Yeah.
What didn't you
Just
like about
take
this?
Rook
Yes.
c1, forcing king d8,
Yes.
then probably just knight g5.
Or even rook a1. I mean, but I didn't like this position at all. I mean, you are so active.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm in the board back. No, I think if I would go to this line, I would play some knight c4 just,
Okay.
to avoid this, being so aggressive. So.
It's
No,
being
but okay, I
tortured.
thought that, okay, black needs to do this. And here I was considering some other moves, but my first hope was for that move. I thought the king is
Right.
could make a day.
That
and
was
then
risky
this-
for you, I thought. Maybe.
Yeah, but you're going, I think, bishop d4. No?
Bishop d4 was also possible, but
Was rook
Knight
c...
d4 is also a move, no?
I think we were afraid of rook c1.
Rook c1.
Rook c1 then king b7. Right?
Yes, rook c7.
But it was my trap. So
What was that? Did we fall for it?
This,
Bishop
a7,
A7.
I check.
You didn't lose it.
Sorry.
You take
And
on
rook?
a4 and
I
king
taken
d8.
king d8.
Yeah, I saw this.
It was a trap, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it.
It's just
We-
winning for black.
It was a,
Fantastic.
It was a trap, yeah.
And continue to show our audience.
King
Yes.
c8.
Oh, not knight c5.
Even
trap.
knight c5.
Even as
Knight c5, but that's beautiful. Okay, that's a nice trap.
it was a trap. Yeah, but I thought that apart from this, even bishop d4, I couldn't understand if I'm achieving something here.
I see.
Knight d4 is also possible, even this move.
With bishop d4 always driving your rook just back and
No, it's not clear what I achieved. Let's say if check, king b4, let's say, okay,
King
king
B-
b4, king
king
b7,
B7.
it's almost good, but after rook c1, it's no moves for black. Because now rook c7 is extremely annoying. So.
Oops.
And okay, it's a kind of my king is more safe now, but overall white is I think dominating.
your
here,
knight
so-
on d7 is terrible.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
terrible. I have no place. So. And since this is not working, basically I thought that okay, I need to go king b7 try to activate.
We agree?
And it looks to the quite a logical repetition because that looks like the only move.
Yes.
And here, okay, if you're not playing, then rook b8 cuts your king with a double rooks, and
Yeah.
it's
Bishop
extremely
b5, I was
dangerous.
thinking about rook c8, but probably it's not.
rook
So-
c8. I also checked it, but rook c8. I thought that apart from taking, also have bishop d4 here.
So to be clear, Tari, when you played the move king d2, you had calculated all the way to this position.
Yeah, I
And-
saw this first draw with bishop a6, bishop b5 when I played
Right.
king d2, but apparently rook c1 is good for white, as we see.
Yes.
But
Yeah, bishop b1 is.
but okay, rook c1 was a strange move to make for me. I
Yes.
don't know. Looking
Yeah.
at rook a7, but not really rook c1.
I see.
Me rook c1 was okay. It was one of my main considerations.
And
so
Sasha?
basically I was.
And why did rook c8 not work for you? What was
Bishop
the line?
d4, for instance.
Bishop d4 even takes on d7. I didn't
Yes.
see. I didn't see the main.
Take on d7, rook c3, bishop d4,
d4.
yeah.
Yeah. Like this.
Rook a3.
And we
looks
were
horrible,
looking at this, I think, and we were going rook a2 check, or
Rook a2.
no, sorry, rook a2 check.
Rook a2.
Yeah, rook a2 check, I think.
No, but I think rook a3 is.
But who is better here?
Correct.
Yeah.
We didn't know. I mean, we're asking the
Because it's dangerous
grandmasters.
for black.
But I think it's
Why?
risky. But I thought
if
it's
you
risky
go-
for black.
King b4, we will go rook f3, and give me the pawn on f4,
Yeah.
and that's already 3 pawns.
But okay,
right
I
now
go
it's
like
2.
king
Okay, but
before rook
if
f3, rook
you-
c1.
But even if after rook c8 just
Sorry, yeah. Rook c8,
with just bishop d4, what is
bishop d4.
what is the
Okay.
big difference?
Not sure at all.
If you give check or not?
I think I have to
You give check and
now.
you go knight b8.
Right, that was
No,
the
but this is-
intention.
But then it will be some rook a1, rook a7 mate. So
Three rook.
no, at least king b3 is a draw immediately.
Ah,
because I
okay,
cannot
okay.
leave because rook a1, rook
Yeah.
7 mate.
Yeah, rook.
You mean king b3, rook a5, king
At
b4?
least.
It's a forced
Yes, it's
repetition
at
this
least.
way. Yes.
It is. But white has a move and I don't have a direct threat.
You're afraid that you could.
Why do I need to play it? I mean, I think
Okay.
rook set only gives options for white, and if white has a draw by force, then it makes no sense.
Then you should make the repetition, force
king-
it earlier.
If king b3, rook c2, you go bishop d3.
Yeah. So overall, I thought that okay, if I'm not able to, to put my pieces on a good square, then it's maybe time to settle for the draw. Otherwise, it's
Mhm.
going to be dangerous for black because my king is also weak.
Yes.
For a moment, okay, white king is kind of weak, but once white king is settled, immediately now the black king who will be under huge attacks. So I said no, it looks like a fair to go just.
Yeah,
this.
fair reason.
It's a nice
Yeah.
repetition.
Yeah. Questions from the audience to the two grandmasters? Were you satisfied with their explanations for their games? Well, then thank you very much to you both. Lovely. And we'll take a short break and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Thank you both. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Malmo, where we have our second result of the round, Stellan.
Yeah, another draw between Gledura and Vidit.
Yes. And when we left it, I think we left it just after H4.
Yeah.
Excuse me with my microphone. And
Some problems for white, but
because of this move B4.
yeah.
We've seen variations like this ourselves, where essentially this pawn is causing real distress for white. So Queen G4, Queen F7, and here the players just agree to draw. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly why they agree to draw. Queen takes, and this pawn is still
Alive, but,
alive, right?
but there are some back rank checks and so coming maybe.
So after C3, just some back rank check. It's so disturbing because there can be a repetition.
Yeah.
And with this pawn still controlled.
Yeah, and I can put my queen maybe behind the pawn.
also.
Yes.
Oh, well.
So very difficult.
Well fought draw. I must say I really enjoyed the game of Morozevich much more
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
thought that was just so much fun, that game. When Andy, what did you call it? The all Swedish matchup?
The Swedish clash.
The Swedish clash. Well, we have left it here and we thought, well, in truth,
Black
Black
is
is in real trouble.
Yes.
And Linus didn't find anything better than Queen C7, costing him a pawn.
Yes.
And maybe another one.
Yeah.
So, two pawns.
Trying for a counter-attack, or
Well-
what should we call it?
Yes, well,
Well,
definitely a counterattack.
Counterattack.
But I must say it doesn't impress as
No.
far as counterattacks go. Check. Okay, that's a good one. Well, my first impression, whenever I see this queen coming to F7, I always have to stop myself and think, what about knight E1? Defends G2, attacks C2, just to choose a move. And then I see this queen coming to F7 and I get very panicked if I'm in black shoes.
King D7.
Rook comes
F6.
here, and I really start to think,
I can take on E3 maybe.
taking on E3, then
And yeah, and the knight
I'm
comes
coming back in time. Wasn't his choice, and he has played instead. Check. Blocking the G file attack. Also very, very
Yeah.
logical, no?
Knight coming to E6.
Yes, very logical. Queen, check, and then knight F4.
Defending, yeah.
And we've got, well, there are many pawns up already.
Two
And-
pawns, yeah.
And black's king is still not safe. Oh dear. This looks dreadful.
Mm.
It just simply looks very, very, very bad. The white pieces are just ready to flood into the position. The real problem is this knight on E7 can't go. If the knight goes, we have a check. And if we trade, we have an issue with knight E6.
Yep.
If we go, we can take. And then, oops, sorry. And that's the ball game. So knight E7 can't move. Well,
Yeah.
it's lost. I can't even suggest a decent move at the
No.
moment. I'm stuck for even a suggestion of anything good. The problem if we play, for example, a move like rook C7, queen comes, give me the knight, give me the rook, queen comes. And
Take, yeah.
hello. Oops. 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 And something is lost. It's terrible. Unless we have some back rank matrix, do we have? I doubt it.
Everything looks so.
So beautiful for white.
What about Queen H? Oh, you just play King B8. Yeah.
Queen.
No,
H-
sorry.
sorry. Well, do we need to do anything genius? I don't think we need to do anything that is
No.
wonderful. We can force this, no? And again, we're in some horrible ending where the pawns will just win for white. Is there another something that we're missing? This looks so. It just looks so good for white. Maybe we can play knight e6 and rook c1 check, and there's a on the diagonal something like this. I was just a second. Where's my mouse? There it is. Something like this for argument's sake. I was thinking that if we can get our queen to e5 with a check, also looking brutal. No, I don't have a suggestion other than rook f2, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah. He played.
Queen H4.
After
He
rook
played
e1,
Rook F2.
he did play rook f2,
Yeah.
and Pia is offering also a very decent idea with the double attack. Queen h4 also forces the rook trade, and still many problems for black to solve. I think black has just too many problems.
He played simple. He took on F2.
After rook f2,
Yeah, he just took and played Queen E5.
centralization.
Yeah. Ah, they are back.
They're back.
Oh my God.
Oh, Vidit and Benjamin. Guys, you want to join us and share the wonderful insights to your game? Yes, we have a microphone for yourselves. Benjamin, you should take the lead because it's your first white of the tournament and you really should enjoy your white pieces. Come and sit down, please. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. And you go. Very good. All right, so how was today's game?
I thought I was better, but.
Yeah, at some point I felt uncomfortable.
Really? Yes?
You thought it was fine?
No, I'm anxious to learn. At what point did you feel uncomfortable, and what point did you feel you were better? Because all of this is very theoretical.
Yeah, 97 is a little bit rare, although.
But I played with black sometimes.
Also 97, you played it as black yourself.
Okay, I tried everything actually.
Okay. And bishop d3 is the theoretical move?
Yeah, mainly.
Yeah, also d5.
Okay.
Yeah, but here d5 is the main move.
Ah, d5.
Yeah,
And this is very interesting because after f5, bishop g5.
yeah, that's what they play.
So this is like
And
I have it in mind it was like a Hikaru Nakamura Wesley So game or something like that, or who has played this? Who is the
I think it was some Sedlak.
I think
Sedlak Nikol.
with
Matthew
yeah,
Sadler?
maybe,
No.
and usually 97 is played by Nepo.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Jan's
Yeah, but
treatment.
But it's some really interesting lines after knight f6.
Yeah, I was hoping for this. I thought it would be a very complicated game.
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed after D5.
Okay.
Actually, we didn't prepare for this, yeah? You neither, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I checked it, but not like very deeply.
Stairs, bishop c4. And yeah, bishop e6 is very important because otherwise...
Otherwise, white gets bishop D5.
5
yeah,
and c4, and he enjoys himself. Okay. And
Yeah, but maybe after this, black can put some pressure, I think.
really?
Yeah, I mean structurally it looks a bit weird, but like if I get c4, this bind, yeah, always this c3 pawn is a bit weak, and his bishop gets bad, like in the game after f4, e5.
Right.
Yeah, I think we played quite normal.
Yeah.
We need to, yeah, and also c4 is important, but otherwise queen c4.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I mean there were many lines, like I could put bishop on d6.
Right. That was our main line.
Yeah.
And also I thought bishop
f6, yeah. It's also because
Really?
I mean
It
e5
looks
bishop
strange,
e7.
right?
Yeah, it looks strange because the e5 with the tempo, but
Right.
Even this was
somehow
possible, I
black-
thought, yeah.
yeah, somehow black wants bishop e7, bishop
C5.
c5 anyway. So.
I thought bishop g7, like, I mean at least I forced him to play e5, and then I'll have a clear plan after that. That's why I played bishop g7, because after bishop d6 he can play some move like bishop d4. Bishop c4 is not possible because of queen c4.
Right.
Some b5 and some queen e3.
Aha.
And then I have to play e5, which, I mean, there are so many exchanges that I thought doesn't keep the game alive.
Right.
So bishop g7.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I thought if I get my rook to d3, I'll be, I mean, I thought he should not allow this by playing rook fd1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But e5 maybe is okay, because in the game,
You played b5.
yeah, bishop d4 was a good move, I think, because he could play rook fd1 here,
Mm-hmm.
but then I play rook fd8, bishop d4, and now he has already committed this rook.
Exactly.
So bishop d4 was a clever idea. And I was hoping for some cheap tricks here. I mean, if rook fd1, I wanted to play bishop f8. The point is rook d3, cd3.
Oh, nice
d3,
trick.
rook d4.
Nice.
But yeah, so rook cd1 was clever.
Yeah, but the other move I was thinking about queen g2. But it's a little bit,
It looks dubious, bishop f8.
yeah. Rook b1, probably b6.
Yeah, b6 or rook d5 maybe.
Rook b5. Yeah.
Yeah, queen g2 looks really
Yeah.
dubious.
I think our main move was rook f3.
Yeah, but it's the same.
I mean, bishop f8.
The same thing.
The same trick. Right. Mm.
Yeah, so I think rook d1 was fine.
Yeah, here I wanted to play bishop f8 first, because like I didn't want to allow this a4
Mm-hmm.
type of play, but then I was a little bit worried of g4. And then he starts
Ah.
pushing f5, and there is always some counterplay.
Yeah, with e6 could be very
Yeah,
dangerous. even.
bishop c5 never works, queen c4.
Right.
So I couldn't play b5, I was thinking, but this looked so risky to allow this.
Exactly.
Like queen g2 is queen g7, but e6, bishop c5 maybe.
You're on the edge a little bit.
Yeah,
a
queen
little
g2,
bit.
king f8.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's working.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You could have a regret.
Yeah, the thing is, if you play like this and it doesn't work, you look like a fool.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Yes. Yes.
Actually, I wanted to play h4,
h4.
Uh-huh.
but yeah, g4 is.
It's scary.
Yeah, I think b5 was fine.
Yeah, a4, and here I saw a very pretty line. I wanted to play b4 actually.
Okay.
cb,
Yeah.
c3.
Right.
I was just thought after bishop c5 it's fine, but it turned out it's not.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, like any move, for example, queen c2 or something, I just ignore this and I can play bishop f8, because he
Right.
can never really take on c3.
Exactly.
And after c3, bishop c5 was the main move,
Right.
because now,
Mm.
okay, I have to be very precise. Okay, I can take rook d1, queen d1, and I wanted to play bishop f8.
Wow, this is working for you. Is it?
Well, if you take, then c2,
This
Oh,
yes.
c2,
This is
and I think this should be lost. I think queen will
Right.
come to d1 somehow.
sure, but just here, it could, What was that?
Sorry.
Whoop.
I clicked the wrong.
The wrong click. Okay.
Yeah.
So bishop c5, rook takes, queen takes, bishop, queen,
But I am not sure.
Yeah.
Is it-
queen d4.
Yeah, queen d4, now a5.
Yeah, and queen c4, queen c6. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And the,
Yes.
yeah, queen
You-
c4, queen c6, yeah.
Oh.
And I just maintain this pin. And the problem
my.
is like he loses because there is
This
this check,
check.
and I take this bishop.
Oh, that's so dirty. Oh my gosh.
But I
Yep.
say if I take on f8, c2, queen c1,
Yeah, this should be lost now. King f8.
queen f2.
Run with the king as fast as you can. King e2.
Queen c4.
Maybe some king b7.
But I put my king there now.
Yeah.
No,
No, what is going on? b5,
you have queen d2 check.
queen d2 check after king d7. You know, because
But
at the
it
moment.
feels very.
Yeah, in the worst case, I can take this a4 b5. pawn.
Right. Yes. There's no danger for
Yeah,
black.
exactly. But I saw a draw here, and that's why I didn't play. I thought this was a very smart move, king f1.
Oh. Really tricky, very tricky lines, no?
Like, I have to probably take now. Take
Yes.
queen c5. Now he gives check. King f7. Okay, maybe queen f6. I thought just queen d7, and I didn't see a way to improve. Like, he has queen c6.
Exactly.
So king f1 was a real heartbreak.
Oh, poor
Um,
thing.
because
so-
in some lines, if you put king on g2, I can play queen c6, and now queen d5 ideas. Like, I
And
don't
he's
know
not
where-
stopping.
because king
pawns.
f2 will come with check. This looks already
Wrong.
suspicious, yeah.
Yeah.
So
very
that's why
dangerous.
king f1 was very precise.
Mm.
But this, I mean, it is not so tough to find king f1. It looks a bit scary, but after you find it, there's no way to keep the game alive.
Right.
That's why I played a6, hoping that I'll get the same trick, but with bishop on f8.
And
Yeah,
here
so
we were
probably I
looking.
have to do something because otherwise.
But why did you play h4? I mean,
Right, because here we
Yeah,
were
rook
looking at
b1.
rook b1.
yeah, this looked,
Queen
Once-
c6, I see.
yeah, queen c6, queen g2,
Rook d5.
yeah, g4.
And black's not a time for bishop f8 and bishop c5.
Probably
F5.
f5, yeah.
Bishop c5.
Yeah, now,
Aha, this one.
yeah, and you put queen e4, rook f1, rook f6 kind of
Mm.
stuff.
Pause for a moment. What is bishop c5 and c3? Bishop d4 and c3? Not good, no? Because we had variations like this, and we were afraid that if we took on h7, king h8.
But
But yeah, just rook f1,
king h8, you want to
Yeah.
go queen f3?
or even rook
Oh.
f1.
Yeah, but
Or
this you can win, I think.
Oops.
Rook f1 is maybe stronger, what you say. Yeah.
Yes, no, oops. So this is not the right way. No, sorry.
Yeah, maybe it's better for me and this queen. Yeah, rook
G2,
b1, queen g2.
rook, queen view. Yeah.
Because it was very forced, this h4, h5. It
Mhm.
felt a bit dangerous.
Here again, I was wondering if this works. But now I don't have this a5 trick. Yeah, I don't really believe now because there's no a5 even.
Mhm.
I was thinking I can play h5
Right.
and then try bishop f8, but I didn't like
Yeah,
g4.
some g4.
You're going to play g4? Yeah.
I'm not sure that here, but yeah.
Rook b1 there.
Yeah, rook b1, rook d5.
Yeah, and now some rook a1 stuff also.
Rook a1, yeah?
It's probably should be somehow equalizing for with white.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, it has a sour taste for white. He plays all very nice, theoretical, and suddenly gets into a position where you're nervous. Benjamin, this is not going well. I mean,
what I didn't understand.
and yeah, exactly.
Because my structure is very good, but somehow.
Yeah. Where's my advantage? I'm white. You know, like, hey, dude, give me back my advantage.
So yeah, the bishop f8, h5,
Mm-hmm.
b4, stairs.
Yeah, maybe queen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here c3.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
This, yeah. And queen g4, probably the best. And I was thinking about this c2, queen g6. And king
Yeah, I didn't see king h8. Otherwise, I would have played this. I saw queen g7, but then you play queen c2, queen g3, queen g2, and there's this pin.
Yes.
And I was thinking about rook c1.
And take the bishop.
Yeah, take the bishop. This. I was calculating this check. And
This-
h2, and the queen is 7 takes rook c6. But I thought this is the clever move, just to keep the pawn alive. But somehow
Well.
I feel like white is
Yeah, I didn't.
fine.
I thought this was a bit.
But this is also, it feels like it's dangerous for you. If black is playing, black is the one playing.
Not sure. But
Really?
yeah,
Why?
maybe.
Yeah, I could not assess this type of positions which were
It
like.
can be.
I mean, if I miss one move and there's mate suddenly on h2.
All right.
Do you think white can improve?
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying it feels a little bit dangerous if you're losing the bishop. How
Yeah.
was that line again? This is really double-edged, it feels like,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Here
so
it
rook
takes.
c1 is one.
And this exact moment, you're saying, here, why is queen g7 the only move? Or
Yeah,
Mm.
I thought
Rook
rook
d1.
because rook h2 is threat.
right. So, and
Yeah, because if queen h7 takes rook c6.
and you get the final
Yeah.
pawn. And if queen d7, let me just ask a question. Queen d7.
Yeah, so starts playing for win now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, wait a minute. The bishop is still a bishop, right? I mean,
Yeah.
oh, you,
Yeah, maybe it's working. I don't know.
you have
But
to.
white should have a draw, no? I mean, my king is so weak.
Yeah, it feels like it.
It feels likely that.
What am I even doing? Like,
Well, rook d2 check is maybe. Well, I don't know.
then takes king h3.
You're right.
Even white is pushing.
You're right. You have to be very careful. No.
Well,
Interesting line, gentlemen. That would have been fun.
yeah, but I thought
That would
in
have
the worst
gotten-
case he can just
Yeah.
play this.
Ah,
But then it's a better version.
Why? You put queen on b3 now, actually. c2, then queen d2. Yeah,
I
but
thought that queen c4. Yeah.
yeah.
bishop
No, maybe.
takes
Yeah,
b4.
yeah. No, this doesn't look right. Maybe you have to go queen g4. Yeah.
It was your
I thought
intention.
so,
Yeah, queen g4 was your intention. I mean,
yeah. Yeah,
if
but
you,
yeah, otherwise it's. black
Yeah,
gets
because
a-
like if you play queen e4 or something, king g7, rook c1. This is also a possibility. I was
Yeah,
thinking.
but if you play c2, I mean not
No.
here, instead of queen g7 is the same. Or not.
no, or not, or not,
So messy.
or not. Wow.
Like
But I
maybe
think queen
maybe
g4 is fine.
maybe king g7, rook c1. I was thinking something like this: queen c4, queen b7, king g7. This, and I just stopped calculating. I could not understand what's happening. Rook d3.
Right. Because g3 is hanging, f4 is hanging, and
Mm.
c3 is
Yeah, yeah.
Everything.
oops,
Yeah,
oops.
so probably queen e4 is not correct. Yeah.
Yeah, the spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah.
Well, and finally, at the end, I was just to final questions. You have agreed to a draw at this point, and what did you imagine what would have happened?
I
if
mean,
you
I thought in
begin-
the worst case, I just play g5 at some point, let him take on c4, gf, queen f5, and just a fortress.
I see.
Because, I mean, if I try to be ambitious and play something like this, threatening
Yes.
bishop c5 and stuff,
Yes, and
suddenly there's queen b1.
And the double attack. I see. I see.
But
yeah, maybe
I can play
queen
c3.
Yes.
F5, you think, yeah, so
Yeah, queen d8 check though.
yeah, and bishop f8,
Bishop C5.
is right.
Yeah, but then perpetual.
Mm.
Okay. I'll save
you-
some time by
By offering the draw.
because there are like 10 ways to make a draw. Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Very good. Any questions for the players? Lovely. Gentlemen,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for coming and sharing. All right.
All right, next players.
Just in time. Just in time. Well, I suppose congratulations are in order because now you're Nils, you lead by yourself. Hi, Linus. Welcome to the show. Tell your microphones. You got that one, and that one you could maybe put just behind your ear. I have no idea. That's not the one I use. Is it working?
Does it work?
Check, check. Sound check.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
Is this working?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Explain what happened to us. Yes.
Okay, we played some rare line of the French.
Real line.
Rare.
Rare line. Sorry.
Real line. Okay. I mean, this
because
is
Morozevich also had a French. I'm sure
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't lost on you.
that one was probably more real.
Yeah.
This is more rare, but it's interesting. I mean, here normally they play bishop b2, but bishop e3 has been played a couple of times, and I mean the idea is basically just to play this position after knight takes e3, f takes e3, and I mean there are some attacking ideas for white, and it's not so easy to be black, I thought,
Okay.
over the board.
I can agree.
You can agree.
Yeah,
It's not so easy to be black over the board.
Difficult to
Yeah. Okay, so bishop e7, queen e1. This was played, I think, by Grishuk once.
Okay.
But I mean, it's nothing special. It's just some interesting position to play.
Right.
So f6. I mean, you can also take an e3 and castle and then play f6, I think.
Right. We were. So your idea, of course, was to play knight c3, a4, knight c5.
Exactly, exactly.
So, for example, castles, knight c3, and is this variation? Has this been?
I mean, the
seen?
game by Grishuk was like this, and then he took and played f6.
Right.
But then maybe the version black got in our game was a bit better.
Really?
Because he had knight e7, so he could stop knight a4, at least.
Okay.
But I don't know. Because after f6, takes, knight c3, takes. I mean, he can castle and transpose back, so
Okay.
at the very least, it's not worse.
Right.
But knight e7 is more critical.
Challenging,
Yeah, more
you
challenging, I said, because now at least he has the two bishops. So knight e2, but here I guess castle, yeah.
Yeah, castle should be.
I mean, looks more normal.
Right. Bishop b5 was maybe
Yeah.
or ambitious.
Yeah, too ambitious. Too ambitious. I mean, something like this, g6 and queen g3, and I might be threatening to take on g6, but also just, I don't know, knight g5 or h4, h5 even. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, black has the bishop here, but I have some compensation. I mean, it
Yes.
should be. I thought I was aiming for something like this, and I thought it would be very unpleasant over the board
Right.
to play.
And this was how you felt as well,
Yeah.
Linus, which is why you
But I
went
regret
for the
my choice
bishop.
with bishop b5.
Yeah, because white actually came very, very fast
Yeah.
with his attack, didn't he?
But okay, there are, I mean, one very critical line.
Okay.
So this takes, I mean, I have to play like this. Now I have to create something very quickly, otherwise
Yes.
black is completely fine.
Exactly.
So this, I mean, rook c3.
That we found also very
Yeah,
ambitious.
but the problem is, I mean, if he castles, then I guess I go to h3 or g4, and it's very difficult to hold on to the e6 pawn.
Yeah, I have to make some strange.
Or maybe queen g4, maybe. I mean, to put the rook on c6 looks very strange.
Yes, that's true.
And knight f5 I can always take on d5. That was
That's very
the main point.
important trick.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
And why is rook c6 so terrible?
no, it's not so terrible, but it looks. I mean, even rook c1 I thought maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And this is just.
I think white is doing quite well. I mean, now if rook c8, I will take a knight h5.
H5.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean, either on f6 or on e6, it will be
Gotcha.
some problem. So, I mean, I don't know.
So already at this point, you were just seeing variations where we're looking bad and bad and bad and bad. Right. So this is where rook c3 was born. Yes.
But this is, I mean, knight h5 now, this is the critical point. Because after queen c7, I'm obviously just... I mean,
Yes, very good.
I'm collecting 2 pawns, and that should be it. But castle, of course, is the move you want to play with black.
Yes, but we
Now-
saw knight e5.
Yeah, now,
and we
originally I thought this was quite good, but then I realized that knight f5
doesn't.
takes,
Yes,
takes. And now this is knight d7 is the idea,
of course.
to take with this knight and deliver mate.
Correct.
But now I think he has this resource, bishop takes d4. It's somewhat...
Monstrous.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Wow.
I take the queen and he takes rook takes e3.
Threatening double checkmate.
Double checkmate. And here black is probably just winning.
Wow.
I mean, so this was very upsetting for me to realize that
no
knight e5
kidding.
wasn't possible.
Oh, well, we didn't see that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
That's why I can't for his position.
Yeah, because otherwise knight d7 just wins. So then actually it's not that clear what I play actually.
Ah, because we really thought that knight e5
Yeah, it
was
looks
really
I mean, I have some options. One option is quite, I mean, to play...
straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, this, now I'm threatening mate,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. I'm not even sure. I mean, this looks promising, but I mean, rook takes f1, rook takes maybe h6, but it looks very scary for black.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't sure.
Concerned or
No, I wasn't, but I mean, I also wasn't, I couldn't see a clear win, but I thought it should be. The other option is to go knight h4. It's a bit strange, but I stopped knight f5.
Right.
So now I'm threatening rook takes f6.
And mate again.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's not obvious how you stop it
Are
actually.
you defending against
I
this
mean,
rook
it's
f6?
yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't sure. I thought I will have to calculate a bit further and then decide.
I'm embarrassed to say I saw knight e5 and knight d7.
Yeah.
and
No,
I just
of course, no, but we
this
both
is
did.
beautiful. This is
We
so
both did
good.
originally.
Oh wow.
So
Could I mean, it just optically, it just looks so strange. Okay, knight h4 might be
but it's
genius, but okay, hold on. No, this was castles
yes.
and knight e5. Sorry, I apologize. I just wanted to see this again. Knight f5, rook takes, yeah?
Yes.
Pawn takes, knight d7, you have rook e3.
No, bishop takes d4. No, rook
Bishop-
takes e3, then I take with check.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Right.
Or that's one of the problems.
One of the many problems. And it's just like,
I mean,
I just have to,
I mean,
it's like, I believe you, but I don't believe you. You know, like I need to see it.
yeah.
Wow. What a shock.
Yeah, it was quite shocking.
I mean, you just think it's just such an easy, 95 is so, it looks like
I mean,
such a flow.
it looks like it should.
So
decide.
here, once you realized that it wasn't the easy win that you had hoped for, then you started looking at knight h4 and knight f6
Yeah,
instead.
exactly, yes.
And, well, you saw advantages in those lines too, though.
I'm
for
not.
you.
I mean, promising at least. They're very
Yes.
unpleasant to defend.
Right.
I wasn't sure how good it is objectively.
Right. And Linus, you just saw that,
I
well,
thought
knight
it was
e5,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right. So you eventually had to settle on queen c7, which, well, it was grotty, right? I mean, you
It's
just...
2 pawns basically.
Yes.
Not sure if I played the most accurate way, but I thought it's
It
good
l-
enough.
It looked very good.
I mean, when the knight comes to f4, I will never get mated at least.
And then it was
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and this was very simple.
Yeah, just centralize and
Yeah.
game over.
And game over.
Yeah. That's
Well, Nils, congratulations
Thank you.
again. You're
Thank you very
leading the
much.
tournament. Linus, thank you for entertaining us. But, you know, you were victimized today. It's quite clear. Something went wrong. Yes. Well, to our audience, any questions for our tournament leader?
There was a very interesting, after knight h5,
Yes.
the computer liked knight f5 for black.
Here, knight f5.
To keep the quality.
Wow.
Keep it cool.
Wow, no.
I thought
Come
that
on.
was missing here.
I mean, knight f5, I thought I will take.
Yeah.
But
Check on and take back.
you take back, I give check.
Yeah.
You have to play queen d8.
And you get the 2 pawns, but like black castles, and then e3 will fall, and
Ah, like this. Something like this. I thought I was just pawn up, but no, I have to admit.
Right. We have seen this line too, and we thought it was just a pawn up as well.
Yeah, just
We didn't realize.
Yeah,
But the engines.
I want to take with the
with the
knight.
knight on
Maybe
the
you have
knight.
some kind of knight.
Oh, sorry. Here, in this moment. So those frisky computer engines are saying equal 0, 0, 0
Yeah,
or something.
very
like,
surprising.
no.
It looks, I mean, looks very good for white. But,
It does.
but you cannot argue with the engine,
Yeah,
unfortunately. I mean,
yeah.
If the computer says it's fine, it's fine, I
It
guess.
really is amazing.
Yeah.
Really is amazing, because I think for us here, watching the game as it was unfolding, we thought, well, this should win.
I think it's key that you don't capture immediately on e3 and you block like the c5 with the queen and put it on c8 or something.
I see. So the gentleman is saying that it's key that black gets to play queen c8 and don't capture immediately on e3. Well, now we will all run home and look turn on our engines to try to understand as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And with the end of the round, we will call it our day, and thank you all for joining with us. We invite you to join us tomorrow, same time, same channel, for round 4 of the Tepe Sigeman chess tournament here in Malmo. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us. Oh, yes. Well, it's nice to have the insights of the players.
Yeah.
It looked like a very...
They had one they showed this queen sacrifice, I guess.
Yes.
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 That
They
was,
did. Really a shocker.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Nice. Well...